Hello and welcome to a special podcast where a group of very different content creators and I go deep and open up about some really interesting topics, like making money with content creation, what works on YouTube, the impact of the economy streams and videos can make, what makes or breaks a good video, how content creation can make RuneScape more or less fun, buying gold, and lots of other juicy stuff. It's a little long and I understand that not everyone will make it to the end, especially because it starts out really rambly, but if you have the time to spend, and I mean it when I say that, this podcast has some really interesting topics hidden within, especially in the second half. This podcast features 4 amazing content creators being Eddiemoo, Lucario, Laser Shark, and Waswere, and all of their links can be found in the description below. Whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So to start off, what is it like to be a content creator? For Lucario, it's streaming. For Waswere, it's more so YouTube, and the same for me. But do you guys think you can describe it, like in short, what it's like? Or
Um, for me, I also kind of want to get to YouTube video making more because
mm-hmm.
every time I made a edited video, it always did pretty good for me. So want to go make sure I want to go out in there. I want to go out there and just make more of those types of videos because they always are the most fun stuff to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you enjoy YouTube more than streaming, do you think? Like overall?
Kind of, but streaming is also fun in its own way because it's basically I don't wanna say it's, easy, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also very, relaxed and chill, and it doesn't feel like a grind, which is, a positive of its own. Whereas with YouTube, you have to go out your way to get B-roll, good B-roll, and you have to try to make sure everything lines up. Uh, I script everything. I only did, 1 kind of unscripted video in terms of, edited stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which, worked okay, but I probably needed to work on, the workflow a bit more. But,
Okay.
that's basically how I go.
What about you, Waswere? Do you?
So I'm almost the exact opposite. I find streaming to be very difficult because I did it for a little bit. Um and it always felt like it's almost like I was recording, but I was recording for the entire time that I was streaming. That's what it felt like to me. And I felt like every clip I got, I had to get it perfect because it's a live stream. So I felt a lot of pressure to be perfect on a live stream. While in YouTube, like if I mess up saying something, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I can just record that again, and no one will ever know that I tried to say this is my final port scroll 13 times without getting it
That is
messed
so
up.
true. That is so
So
true.
so
Mhm.
YouTube kind of gives me that comfort of knowing that I can fix it later and don't need to be perfect. Um, and I would say on the scripting side of things, I definitely script almost everything that isn't live commentary. Um, just because my mind races a lot.
Wow.
Um,
Okay. That's
and
that's.
yeah, so I like, for example, I made a mage gearing guide video yesterday, and the script was 5,500 words long, and I just went for it.
All right. So well, that's kind of huh. And sorry, I was a little bit distracted. We have a unexpected guest that returned from his sleep. I think Mr. Laser Shark. What?
Let's
He's
just
just
let's just get him in here
get
somehow. It's like the
yeah.
middle of the night. So
Yeah.
Oh
let's
man.
see what happens here.
Sorry, I was like, hold on. I was trying to listen to you, but at the same time, I see like, huh? Laser Shark is calling you.
Yeah.
What's going on here, dude?
Yeah. You'll probably notice the exact moment I stopped talking. Like I
We were all
Mm.
start
just
slowed
like,
down.
"Huh?"
That was
Like,
I,
"What
I
that's when
Happened?
that happened, and that almost encapsulates what I was saying about scripting. Like I basically stopped mid sentence there. So if I try to
Mm.
make a video
you,
and like without a script, I'll end up getting distracted like 13 different times, and then a 20-minute video, instead of having like 30 minutes of raw footage or raw audio recording that I cut down, it now
Mm.
has like an hour and a half, and it just makes it's quicker for me to just write the script, take an hour or two to do that, and fix it rather than have 2 hours of audio and then have to cut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Right. For both of my uh Telus videos by like 200k a month and 200k at 4K start. Both of those started at 50 minutes for the original audio recording, and then I trimmed it down to 38 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like 75% is probably about the same ratio where I'm at on scripted content because you're gonna make mistakes or you're going to like want to take pauses for a little bit, get some water, refresh your mouth, that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Eddie also welcome Lazy Shark?
Happy 1 in the morning, guys.
What happened, dude? Should I don't know if I
You
should
just
cut
got a
this
little
out,
nap.
restart, or whatever. I don't know, dude.
Nah, roll with the punches. It's fine. I didn't know we were in this chat. I thought we were gonna do it in the other one. It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
uh, oh, I was just actually going to ask Eddie,
Hello.
because you combine both, right? 'Cause Waswere and Lucario, you have like a different view on streaming and YouTube. You combine both, right? You basically
I
streamed.
did, yeah. So I started off doing interviews basically pre-recorded, just because I thought the people I'm interviewing would be a bit more comfortable with it. But then I realized actually having Twitch chat there to like bounce off of and have questions and stuff with was the way to go. Then also I did like the game shows that I think, let's see, I don't think Jim or you were on them, but I know Luca and Protox were.
That's
Where
because I
we had
sucked
like
at law back then.
Hey, it wasn't just law based, and these guys can tell you that. So, and again, it was just kind of, it depends on the type of content, right? Like, I was thinking when Luca and were talking, like, it's a lot of progress based stuff, the sort of thing that you kind of like to see cut down, compressed into videos like that, and it is that pre perfected sort of thing. Whereas Luca, because it's showing your like consistency of kills and sort of that progress when a new boss comes out and the sort of from the start of the day to the end of the day, the kill time changes. Actually, having that live view of it, as opposed to compressed, means people can tune in and see how much better you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good way of putting it, actually.
So it depends a lot on what kind of content you're doing as to, I think, whether YouTube or streaming is the way to go. And I mean, I haven't made much for the last few months, but that's just because I've had a lot of other stuff on, so I've not got around to it. But
Basically, what you're saying is you're neglecting your channel. You can't be doing this, dude.
hey, I mean,
You can't do that on
neglect-
YouTube, man.
right? Well, I can neglect my channel to get married. I think I'll I'll make an
Absolutely, yeah,
exception
yeah.
there. so-
Get an excuse.
Yeah.
Well, not allowed. RuneScape first every day of the week. You know
Yeah,
that.
dude.
Come on.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, YouTube
Mm-hmm.
isn't streaming and aren't streaming and YouTube both the same in that you have to actually commit to get anywhere? Like for
Yes.
at least a year, I'd say. I mean, not a
Yeah.
year. It depends, but usually you'll be doing something for a year till you really get going. With the exception of Nuz Nuz, I think.
Yeah,
I would.
but
I-
there was a background there that just launched to the stratosphere, so it was destiny. That
Yeah.
one.
For those that don't know, he has a marketing background, so
Yeah.
that helps.
He reached
Exposed.
out to me at 2K subs and
did?
was like, "Give me advice on how to grow my channel and stuff." And we've been talking since then. So pretty much every day, and like I take credit for it, you know. So
Hey!
his subs are also my subs, so I
That's a-
actually have like 27k, not 13k.
Stonks, dude. Actual
So-
stonks.
Remember, you can
Nuz
divide
wins the
yourself up.
gnome, it's
Yeah,
my gnome.
Cut it in
yeah,
half. Here's half of it.
it's only a question of when, because he will. Let's be honest.
Yeah, for sure. He's got that one on lock.
Unless like Odablock decides to PK on RuneScape, there's no PK on RuneScape 3. Unless Odablock or someone else who's huge in OSRS decides, hey, I'm just gonna go to RuneScape 3, make a video 2 or 3, and nick the gnome.
I just
the
realized
term new
that.
creator. It's
I just
not
realized
really...
that like the thing about like doubling subs is like mitosis. That's just so funny to me.
Hostess?
Mitosis is just
Host?
cell division.
Yeah, it's the cell
Oh, we're
splitting.
talking biology.
Yes.
Smart talk. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get to engineering instead, please? Me no
What?
understand.
Engineering.
All
How long
right.
is that course, by the way? The engineering one.
Oh, for me, 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years, and that's a degree, diploma.
Bachelor's
What is it?
degree. Bachelor's.
Oh, nice. My uni course was a 2-year course for a
Master?
bachelor as well, but it was like
Wait.
advanced diploma, advanced bachelor, whatever. It was like really condensed and like really strict. Like every week you had new assignments. There was no
Ew.
break.
2 years? Wait, isn't
Yeah.
that usually associate's degree? Like if it's shorter?
Yeah, in year 1 you get your diploma, and year 2 you get your bachelor. It was really, really quick.
A
Oh,
lot
there's
more
like
hours per week, I guess. Yeah.
I need
Yeah, it was
40.
full time. 40 and you still make
Yeah,
content?
I
Damn,
got
that's
full
gotta
time.
be
Yeah,
stressful.
it's a long course or whatever you do. Like I have my proper year done now. Got 3 more to go.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
but
Mm.
engineering is very heavy on the course load. Like I had 35 hours of coursework every week, like in class.
damn.
But this is a little off topic, but I think you'll enjoy this because of the structural engineering background. The person who I had a friend visiting last night, and
Mhm.
his job is doing computational fluid dynamic modeling of buildings, so that you can like a high rise building in like a big city. They need to like make sure that the wind isn't going to
Yeah,
knock it over. They need to
yeah.
make sure that the exhaust vents are in a way where it's not going to pollute the nearby uh, area. And it just like that sort of stuff blew my mind because like even though I'm an engineer myself, like I had no idea that they even designed for that, but it makes so much sense.
They had
This-
to, right? There was that bridge that they built, and for whatever reason, the like frequency of the wind going through like completely wrecked it and made it like really wibbly wobbly. I can't remember what it's called. It was over in America somewhere. I'll see if I can find out.
I
This is
like that
going.
description. Wibbly wibbly wobbly.
Yeah.
This is like
That's
the
such a
weird version
description I
of
would
London
give.
Bridge.
This isn't even a U-turn, by the way, topic wise. This is like just ascending to a different dimension, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went through the
Talking about ascending,
went through the teleporter.
Oh,
our boy, Azanadra, G up, our boy, he's ascended into godhood. Hell yeah. That is
Tacoma
freaking awesome.
Narrows is the name of the bridge. The video of it is insane. I would recommend giving it a watch if you can.
Mm.
but
Have you ever been much lore people? I know Eddie, you've dabbled into it, but what about you? You ever
I
dabbled
like
in
lore.
lore
I
much?
read up on it and don't spacebar quests.
you don't. That's
No, I do
not
not.
efficient, Luca. I know you don't, because otherwise you wouldn't have won like most of those rounds with the micro the race thing or whatever that was.
Chase.
The chase, I think. Yeah.
So I
I
am
don't
definitely a
know, Runes.
spacebar.
Yeah.
But I'll redeem myself a little bit. I read the lore later, so like
Wait.
Okay.
I'll spacebar through the quest, and like won't really understand the lore in the context. And then like when I'm like sitting on the can or something, I'll like pull up the wiki page for it. And
I think in some ways that's the best way to do it, honestly, because some of the lore is given to you in just like weird formats sometimes, and we all know the language that they use is sometimes really hard to read, especially for me who can't read to begin with. It's much more digestible, if that's the way to put it, on the wiki format than it is in game.
yeah, I feel like I'm
To a
reading a
degree.
story that I've already completed myself. I'm like, oh, that's why I did that. Ah,
Yeah,
that makes
Mhm.
sense.
I cannot relate to this whatsoever.
have you seen the plugin on RuneLight, which literally highlights all of the options in quest for you? It checks your bank to make sure you've got the items required for the quest, and it actually draws like an outline around what item to use in game, where to use it, what to click on, and it's basically automatically doing the quest for you. But you're obviously doing the clicks.
That
No,
sounds
That's
like
that's
something to
botting.
experience
terrible.
for the first
That
time.
That
sounds
sounds like
That's
terrible.
helpful one, isn't it?
that
That
sounds like
sounds
botting
terrible.
with extra steps.
That
I
is
I really liked
ridiculous.
it for doing quests I've already done like 8 times. Like
8 times?
yeah, between all my accounts, my
Oh
old
right.
school accounts, everything, I've probably done like those starting quests 8 times. Like the Knight Sword, probably like 8 to 10 times. So like those type of quests, I don't. It's saving me the effort of reading on the wiki on one monitor, and using Quest Helper on the other monitor. So that
Yeah,
it's
it's
great.
actually
But
in game. Like it actually
it's
has the
in
steps
game.
in game for
Yeah,
clarity. Yeah.
it's great. The only really broken one, I'm not sure if you got this far, but Lunar Diplomacy.
Oh,
Okay.
the race?
Yeah, well, not the race. You know the
Hate me
pads where you
that
have to
so
like
much.
jump across, and like you have a chance to fall.
Oh,
It
yeah.
gives you your path right away.
Right. See, I'm not a fan about that stuff. That stuff
Yeah,
kind of it's too
that,
far for me. Same
that's
with
the
I think Swamp
borderline.
Letics
I
did it
mean,
in his
Runelite as a
series as
whole
well.
is too far, and Alt 1 is too far as well.
Is it
I
though?
Yeah, I
Telos
don't like
timer or
either of
whatever.
them at all.
Telos
Or
timer, you
rather
have that right? Or whatever.
yeah, you have Telos timers, you have, AFK
Virago,
warnings. No,
Virago
get rid of
tag.
all of that. I don't
Wait,
like
wait, wait,
it.
wait, 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 wait. But is it really that good? As in, like, you don't want it in
No,
the
I
game?
just don't like any of that as on principle.
Hmm.
Does RuneLight have that thing that actually draws squares and everything? I've seen that a little bit. They like
Yeah,
actually
the
draw
dot
where to stand
markers.
for their bosses or whatever. Yeah.
That makes it easy
I
though.
don't know. I don't know how I feel about that stuff. Like, obviously, they've said for a long time RS3 Easyscape, and then I see this sort of stuff from RuneLight, and I'm just like, come on, man! Like, doesn't that just take the fun out of it?
I I agree. I talked to some OSRS players in multiple things. I even met they like kind of think OSRS is actually the easier game, and the
Right.
RS3 Easyscape thing is more so because the XP rate's higher, not because the game's actually easier. Because let's be honest, it's probably harder to get into. Otherwise, the game would be more popular.
Mm,
Uh,
absolutely. I
it's
would
like
say from combat perspective, it's way harder in RuneScape 3. Don't get me wrong, there's some challenging things in old school, but if you're putting up, like, obviously I haven't been to the echelon you guys have, but from what I've done so far, it was ridiculous to learn. Obviously, just stepping up into Raksha for the first time, that was hell for me.
Raksha is hell, but still,
Nah,
I
I,
don't
I,
even
nah.
have a Raksha kill yet, so I
I,
can't.
I'm not going back there. One solo and like I mean, the only reason it's fun is because you can get
You can
a
get carried
1.4
in a
bill.
duo.
Hey, duo's at
All right,
least
Luca,
like
what's
okay, I
done?
Because
guess.
you get carried in a duo.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm getting carried. It's just prey flicking and damage, which is enough for me. Like I don't like everything at once.
Mm,
Oh, they should
I'm
do that
getting.
more. They should keep doing that. That would be great.
What do you mean, like
They
giving the
should keep
ability
like
to leech?
they should no they should double down on prayer flicking.
Double. Wait, what?
Yeah, they should absolutely double down on prayer flicking.
Wait, so you mean like
They
you
should
would
make it
like
one
more?
tick. They should make it like 6 jazz at once prayer flicking.
I would do multiple jabs at once in RuneScape 3. I would love that with more HP. I would actually just because if that's just one part, but it's the entire fight at Raksha, and
Yeah,
it
make
takes
it
me
the
like
entire fight, your entire time. You have to react to one tick prayer flicks
are we
for 20
wooks?
minutes.
Oh, that sounds
For
like
me,
wooks.
it's like a glass of water, right? So you start filling up this glass of water. Each mechanic fills it up a little bit more and a little bit more, and I can only take so much mechanics. That's how my brain works. I get to a
Mm,
point where I just tap out, and I'm like, I can't physically remember any more than this. I can't.
mm,
So there is a difficulty level, but there is also a capacity level for some players who just don't have that brain capacity to do that. Like there is P5 Telos, all that stuff. Like I know Luca, you've done some insane Telos stuff in your career with it, but for me, I can't do it because my brain just doesn't work that way.
mm.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's always a very steep learning curve. Like Raksha, I absolutely sucked at right at the start because I was, again, focusing on so many things, like as with your glass of water analogy. But I think one thing that really picks up over time is people start just doing the same abilities every kill. Whether they're the ideal abilities or not, people will
Mm.
eventually just start using the same abilities over and over again in their order. So then you're no longer paying attention to your ability rotation. And then at that point, I can now focus like solely on prayer flicking because the abilities I'm using is just muscle memory after I've done it 200, 300, 400 times. And
Yeah.
then it
Yeah.
starts to get a little bit easier. And that glass of water for my abilities that I'm using is now taking up a very small portion of what I'm supposed
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
doing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I completely agree with that. I had that with Raksha when I was learning it as well, where first of all, it's like, oh my god, prayer flicking, dodge rocks, do damage, and it's like all this overwhelm. But then I pulled it apart, dissected it, and I'm like, okay, so let's just let it do its thing on Revo just to get going. And I focused on my prayer flicks, got that nailed, and then it's like, okay, where can I do damage? I had to find pockets in between the mechanics to do my damage. And so it was like a deconstruction of the boss and then build it back into it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the problem is I don't think many play. I myself didn't have the dedication to get to the point where everything is muscle memory. Personally, I think that's the issue. Like I got discouraged, and I didn't want to keep trying basically. Because I think everyone, if you try hard enough, you'll get good at any boss. Good enough, anyways, to kill it consistently. Especially Raksha, you can no food it because you get so many possibilities to res in between like mechanics.
I
Or
mean, the
PvE.
thing
Let's
about Raksha is that like I think it kind of like exposes like a lot of like fears of the RuneScape community. I think that RuneScape community as a whole has like a weird like fixation on making things seem harder than they actually are. Because like I think that some people just don't know how to convey information in a digestible, efficient way. Because there are certain strategies that are very easy to do, but they come off as like you need X X X and all that, or all these how do I put it, like more advanced combat strategies, when in reality you can do every boss just camping revolution and basically just doing very low level strategies to
Yep.
beat every boss in the game, even up to like 500% telos, even maybe 999.
Yeah, I think with Revolution, a lot of things people need to understand when they're using it is the limitations of it.
It also
And
doesn't teach you anything, which is why it's bad.
yeah, it has its uses,
I
but
wouldn't say it's bad because if we didn't have Revolution, I think there wouldn't be as many players in the game. I'm currently working
hell
on
no.
something related to
Hell no.
EOC because
Mhm.
momentum sucked, and if Revolution wasn't added, I don't think many people would have stuck around, like the casuals, because Revolution was added to cater to those like people that don't want to. And Revolution is you can get
I think
very far with
also,
Revolution.
but you are looking at it from like A or B scenario. It doesn't consider the option C, where it's simply then make full manual more appealing to like general player base somehow by like either trimming down other game design parts or whatever.
But the thing is, there's nothing in the game that teaches you that. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's
I
the
mean
big issue this game has.
that's a whole different argument there, but I think there might be like some weird like I don't know how to put it, like just like this resistance against going full manual because like either it's too difficult, which could be stem from a variety of reasons, like they never played it with with full manual from the start, or it's genuinely difficult to do so, which uh
I don't think it's that
hard to
difficult.
say, in that case.
I've used
So
full manual, so I know what I use it for next because I like the extra control. That's the only
mhm.
boss I use it at. I don't use it
Same,
anywhere else.
same. That's
Pretty
literally the
similar
only boss
here.
I use it
Yeah.
at too. Yeah.
It is a great boss for actually using full manual for the first time, for sure.
Other than that, I don't think I've ever used it anywhere else, especially not. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think because I have had problems with Revolution using abilities when I use like react quickly or like it taking a little longer. And if you were from that for manual, you would have just not pressed that ability and equipped your shield right away or whatever. Or I don't know. Just you. I feel with full manual, you just have that extra control.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
the hardest part is getting automatic with your basics. That's the biggest struggle I have with full manual is just that automatic making sure I'm using basics. And again, it comes back to that analogy of too much going on. There is too much going on for me to remember to keep tapping my basics and then add mechanics, add DPS, add, healing, whatever I have to do on top of that while managing my hand just going tick, 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 tick through all my basics.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. That's definitely the harder part. The
Mhm.
basic rotation. That's why it was when people switch to full manual. I think the DPS or DPM, let's say, decreases for the first
Yeah,
few
they
weeks.
will decrease at first because they need to adjust and stuff like that. And that's perfectly natural for that to happen.
Hmm.
It has to become muscle memory just getting your basics down. And then
Right.
after that, build on top of it. Same with YouTube. Hey, you've got to get your basics down. You've got to develop a plan for your channel, who you're going to be, what are you going to bring to the table, and that originality. Like, who are you as a creator? What makes you special? Why should people tune into you? And that's sort of like the baseline you have to go off. But when you're first starting out, you don't exactly know who you are or you want to be. So you have to go through those baby steps of let's try this, let's try that. Oh, that's stuck. Let's keep focusing on this. And then you become known as that person.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, if there's no one that wants to watch it, which Eddie actually had an issue with, well, there are people that want to watch it, but even though your content is good and you found your place and what you're good at, if there's not enough potential view, I think Galaxy Shark had the same issue because he was making lore videos. If there's
Right.
not enough people that are going to watch, you won't get found. Basically, there's no like demand for it. That's a big issue.
You're a niche within a niche, and that is where that becomes troublesome. But you have to remember, like, your goals as a YouTuber, it doesn't always have to be money focused or to become famous or whatever. Like, just make, and again, I started like this. I just made content for the fun of making content because I'm an artist at heart, and it just happened to be RuneScape. But if you enjoy doing that, like if Eddie enjoyed interviewing people, enjoyed making his mad crazy scientist videos, and say only like 30 people watched, if those 30 people enjoyed it and he had fun making it, that's the way that I look at it now anyway. Like I've had mixed opinions in the past, but that's how I see it now. Always do it for you, and if the community latches onto it, that's awesome. But it doesn't always have to be about chasing the views, the money, or whatever with YouTube. If you just want to create something for the sake of your art form, put it on there. So what if no one watches it? You made something that's going to last a lifetime. Like, unless YouTube goes tomorrow, which I doubt it will, but
I
it's on there.
I really wonder what Waswere has to say about this, and perhaps Lucario as well. But I generally don't think that making YouTube videos, if no one is going to ever, like, let's say no one ever watched them, I don't think I would make them because you're trying to share something with someone else, whether that's
It
entertainment,
doesn't have to be.
information.
See,
Doesn't have to
in
be.
that starting in 2015, I would upload PVM kills. They would get like no views. At most, get like 300.
Mm-hmm.
And but I keep uploading because it's a nice way like like it would just like be a good way to mark like my progress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And all those videos are still up on my channel, so it's like a time capsule of like where I was then and where and now I can compare it now. It'd be like, wow, I sucked real bad back then.
A
Probably
video
still
Even though
generate.
even though I thought I
that-
was pretty okay back then, now it's like, wow, this is pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's a good argument, actually. Yeah, yeah. I have
It's
old
your own
videos
record.
it's a
of like.
memoir in video form. It's
Hmm.
awesome.
Right, exactly. Also like um not even just based off of your like in-game progress or whatever and stuff like that with uploading. It could also just be like a way to just build another skill set on your
Oh
own.
yeah,
Like
yeah. True. True.
maybe people aren't gonna watch it that much, but you can still develop editing as like a skill set or like how to like like mix audio a little bit better so you could like make your voiceovers sound clear.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even like and that could also lead into like better script reading or like speech delivery or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I
That
Public
have a
could
friend
speaking.
who did that. Yes, it was part of a politics course that I took in high school. And part of that was to create, it wasn't YouTube at the time, but we had to record ourselves on a tape recorder or CD recorder, whatever. But we had to record ourselves speaking and present it for the class. I know it's not YouTube, but it was still kind of the same concept, right? We
right.
had to record something and produce it and just put it out there to practice speaking in front of an audience. And I think YouTube, you hit the nail on the head. That's a great way to practice.
Right. So it doesn't have to just stay as a just like a way to make money or like chasing glory or etc. It could just be there as a way for you to keep building your skills and develop yourself as a person, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why did all of you start content creation? Whether just tell me like one or two words, and then we'll see from there. I'm curious why.
I'll give one word: proof, which is the weirdest thing, but it relates into my first series. And
Okay.
I'll let someone else say their one or two word, and then maybe circle back to that.
Yeah, yeah.
One or two words. Okay. All right. I'll put it down for Twitch and I'll put it down for YouTube separately. For YouTube, improvements basically. That was just the main thing. For Twitch, spite.
Oh.
Okay.
I'll
Hmm.
elaborate more on whenever people get their few words
Mhm.
in.
Okay, so I'll go. Runefest is the word I'm going to go for.
Okay.
All right.
Hmm.
A laser?
Practice.
That is it. That's okay. So it was where going back to what you said. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Okay, so I went into YouTube with no dreams of getting big, no dreams of anything. I just wanted to max an account in the quickest amount of time possible. And the problem with that and RS3 is you can spend thousands of dollars and then get your max account in like 48 hours or whatever a friend did. Forget what his final time was. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but so I was like, if I just post a screenshot of me with Max Cape with 250 hours played, the comments are just going to be filled with, oh, you bought all these spins, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, you know what? Let's just record it. I'll show every level. I'll I'll do it that way, and this will be my catalog of how I did it. And then like I didn't have a YouTube like channel thing. It was just a W for like 3 months. I didn't have thumbnails for 2 months. Like these videos were literally up there just for proof. And then one day I was in the States visiting my cousin at university, and one of the videos just blew up to like 1,500 views or something, which at the time was insane for me.
Was
And
it
I was
due
like,
to Reddit?
okay, pardon?
Sorry for interrupting. Wasn't it due to Reddit? Because I remember you posting on Reddit something about your series.
So I posted the first episode on Reddit, and that got like highly upvoted, and I got like 1,000 views. But by episode like 3 or 4, it was down to like 50 or 100.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
the quality wasn't the best. Looking back on it, like the audio was pretty awful, the editing was terrible, the like graphics were like minimum because I was still on my old laptop. So it was not good content, but like the idea was something that was so unique that allowed me to break through that sort of tough part of YouTube where like no one knows who you are, so you have to get there with a really good idea. And then people will start watching you for you in the future. Like I think now people watch me for me to see my journey, not necessarily because I'm going for Golden Reaper. Versus back then, people were watching to see what cool things I was going to do to get the minimum hours to max.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as you grow, you can be a little more general with what you're doing.
Yep. That's definitely true.
And then basically eventually I was like, oh, I can actually do this. So I started putting more effort in. The stay-at-home order happened, and yeah, I started putting more time into it, made an archaeology guide, and then
Yeah.
at that point, I was like, "Oh, I'm actually able to make money from this. Maybe let's try to put more time into it."
It's a motivating factor, and I think not many people like. I guess say that. I think um once you start to make money from something you enjoy doing, or we're doing maybe out of nowhere, like Lucario used to Twitch for spite, Laser Shark did it for practice, and suddenly it turns into something that's actually delivering value to you,
Mm-hmm.
like alongside your initial goal. That changes things. It can like help. You can afford to spend more time on it basically
Right.
because you're getting something in return that you can
Mhm.
save time with IRL.
Yeah,
Hmm.
100%.
Is it because was that a motivating factor? Because I know it was because I wanted to upgrade my gear for my videos. I
Y- Yes.
well
Yeah,
there
it
we go.
was. There was a stretch where, and maybe you'll be able to see it in the content where I was making videos because I felt like um I had to get the money that I wanted, and I was like, I have a full-time job. Why am I worrying about this? So then I took a break. Um, but yeah, definitely the first like 6 months of YouTube was all about getting money so I could buy a computer, so I could make better videos and get better audio quality, all that sort of stuff. That was all the push was the more money I made, the better I could make the channel.
Is that something you guys felt as well, except for Eddie? Because I mean, maybe apart from Twitch, I don't think you've had a paycheck, Eddie. Have you?
So let's see. Not on this channel, but back in the day, I made a load of gaming videos and got a couple of paychecks from YouTube of about the minimum amount. But it obviously from Twitch, I've had a couple, I think.
Okay.
They slowly sort of come in and whatever, and I just used it for like various bits, like lights or the what do you call it? The stream? No, not Stream Deck. The thing that lets you plug a DSLR in, whatever that's called. One of
isn't
them.
isn't
So
that like
it's all like
Elgato
just
capture card.
fun bits. So I was never like, I've never like relied on the money, if that makes sense.
Wait,
It's
cam
like
link?
it's a nice
Like
little.
like a camera?
Yeah, hang on. Yeah. Maybe it is
Elgato?
Camlink. I think I've got the box. Hang on. Yeah,
Okay.
this is definitely the box for it. Camlink, you are correct.
that
Got it.
that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
No, I still don't use that. But I did use money I made from Twitch and YouTube to upgrade my microphone. And that's always really good because like
Yeah,
audio quality is something I value like heavily, which is
you
why
should. You
which is
should.
why like, uh when I finally made the upgrade to this current microphone, it's like the first time I ever had an XLR microphone, and I was like, wow, it's like a caveman discovering fire, and my brain goes
Yeah.
goes
That's a good way of putting it, dude. Actually, that's a really good way of putting it. And people watching you will not like they won't see you as like a caveman anymore either, because you actually sound like you're not making their ears bleed anymore.
right,
With
exactly. There's like, although that being said, there's still stuff I have to learn. Like, I have to learn how to properly DS audio. I have to properly what's the word? Oh yeah, I need to find better ways to prevent clipping, etc.
That's something that I get compliments on a lot is the audio, but man, did I invest time. I invested so much time just understanding how audio works and what does what with certain things for my microphone. And it took a long time to get there, which you'll obviously hear throughout my content as well. But once I got it to that point where it was just like, hell yeah, this is radio. Like, you can really feel it. And that's something as a creator, if I was to make a new channel and say, like, let's go again with something else, blah, blah, audio is something I would prioritize over everything else. People
Right.
forgive bad video, but they do not forgive bad audio. As soon as there's white noise or any static or anything like that, they're out, especially room noise. A lot of people hate reverb. They want it to be like warm, welcoming, very closed. And just if you can nail that, you've got so much more chance of success over the other channels that are in your category, because
Mhm.
that's the voice that they want to go back and listen to as well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I would say I think you have the best setup. I think you have your entire room padded with sound damping, right? Panels.
I made my own soundboard walls. I
Oh,
went down to my local hardware store and I made my own sound paneling, and then I put up my soundproofing all over it, and I really started to think about the acoustics in my room as well to give it that extra layer of studio quality, because it's a lot like painting a car. I don't know, someone who's listening's probably done this before. It's all in the prep work. If you nail the prep work, editing, so the finished coat is just a breeze. It just works so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have
also,
investigated padded walls to dampen out sound. But then I talked to Ryan, and he said that like he also looked into it and said that like probably wasn't worth it, so he did like something else. I
you can
think.
hang up blankets, you can hang up sheets, whatever stops sound reflecting and leaving the area. So you don't want anything
Right.
harsh, you just want something soft. Pillows
Don't
work
have
really
flat
well.
walls.
Yeah. If you have a floor, like a hardwood floor, throw a rug down underneath you, it makes a hell of a lot of a difference.
Oh, we use
But yeah,
carpet.
the best thing you can do as well for audio, if you don't have the best mic, turn down the gain as much as possible and fix it in post, because turning
Mhm.
down the gain lowers the room. So if you imagine your gain is up because you're like, oh, they can't hear me, blah, 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 but they're picking up noises from the kitchen or other things, little taps on the keyboard, whatever. lower the gain, and then you can up that in your editing software later. Sure, it might not be as loud as you want, but it's better to have something that might be a little bit quiet but doesn't have any of those extra sounds.
And
So
also, it
they're
can
little
also help
tricks to the
prevent a
trade.
little bit of clipping as well.
Yeah, yeah.
You,
Always aim for like minus 10 decibels. That's the sweet spot.
Hmm.
and then you have my audio is always super soft. I hear that a lot. Some people always say they can't hear me. I never understood that because even if I play my videos on my phone, they say they can't hear it. I do boost it in Vegas, like post recording, because my microphone is turned all the way down. Because otherwise I'll have white noise, and I don't. I'm not a big fan of Audacity actually.
Oh,
Like,
you don't use a noise reduction on Audacity?
no, I have tried it before, but it made me sound fake. I like
Hmm.
boost the treble and bass as well.
I
I
mean,
like remove.
doing equalizers is a whole totally different thing from noise reduction. Noise reduction just like gets rid of that stuff, and it doesn't have that much of an impact on your voice compared to equalizing.
The best option you can do is to use a gate.
A
So
noise
whatever.
gate works, but you also have to make sure that it make sure that it's set correctly. Otherwise, you might lose like whispers, stuff like that. Depending on what you do, of
That's
course.
that's why the soundproofing the studio setup, I've got it set perfect every time. There's no variables, you see. Everything's
Hmm.
always the same.
Right.
That's why that little bit of extra saves so much time in editing because I just know, yep, everything's at the right levels, everything's good. Just bang, let's go. Let's go record vocals, voiceover, audio, all that stuff. My compressor takes rid of the. There's a thing in, I don't know what editing software you guys use, but in Premiere there is a setting that I can use my compressor and it ups the lowest part and it decreases the highest part, squishes them together so that my whispers are like really up there, my yells are down there. So it just really, really makes it nice and balanced and smooth.
Hmm. I used to use
Nice.
Premiere until I decided to like retire for Vegas because I wanted to save money.
I
Aha.
did the same thing last week for DaVinci.
Mm.
I did the same thing for DaVinci. So I tried the trial version of DaVinci and I was like, if I can edit an episode on this, I'll buy it. Playing with it, yep, okay, everything's different, but same in terms of like what features are on there, looking for things. And it didn't take me too much longer once I found my way around. And by the time that video was uploaded, I was like, yeah, I'm buying this. It's a one-off thing. Um, it's everything Premiere does, but it's not subscription based.
Right. Right.
Frax who
So
swears buys it. The quest guide maker.
Yeah.
I
I
think I
see.
will now too. I've used all three, and this is by far like there's things in Premiere that I just like because it's easier to access. But for 99.9% of the other stuff, DaVinci's the same and sometimes better in certain applications.
All right.
So not
For
sponsored,
me,
just a fan of the product.
Maybe we should get a sponsor of the podcast. Split it
Mm,
for 5.
maybe
maybe.
not for me.
Maybe.
I was going to say, because for me, I basically have just used Premiere for everything. Now, that's partly down to the amount of stuff I do in Photoshop and then also After Effects in my like work outside of doing YouTube stuff. I
Mhm.
use quite a lot of Adobe products, so it's not just for video editing. So, and again,
Oh,
it's
you have a
similar to
pack.
like Apple's ecosystem, right? Like the way it works. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
Might
I
and
as
mean,
in
well.
the industry, you can't do anything if you don't know Avid. Avid is the one that everyone needs to know to make it in the film industry.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I am
It's a pain in the ass too.
I'm quite lucky in that I can still get the student prices though, because I am technically still studying. So I
Hey,
got like an
nice.
Yeah.
entire year for 120 quid on Prime Day this year. They had it literally down £10 a month for the full suite, so I'm not going to complain about that one.
For me, it was like $700 a year Australian versus buying DaVinci one-off done for 500, and it came with the little speed editor. So I have like this little round knobby thing, and you just slide it backwards and forwards, and like it scrolls through all the footage. So nice for when you're cutting. Just makes it just so much easier.
Right.
Oh,
Then I
it's like the
press the little
Surface
cut button.
Studios like controller. I don't know if you guys have seen the Surface Studio, but it had like this thing that had like a whole hue thing. So it's basically a graphic designer's kind of dream computer to use that.
Hmm.
Very cool. It had a similar sort of, I can't remember what they called it, dial, I think.
I have a friend who killed a Raxor on one of those art tablets.
A Wacom tablet? That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
mobile except with extra steps.
Yeah, he like mapped different parts to different abilities, and he was like tapping on it with his pen.
Mm. Oh, sounds possible still though. So
New
yeah.
challenge. There you go.
I mean,
Defeat all the
I already
bosses
did
on
it on
Wacom.
mobile. It's already, it would be easier on a Wacom tablet because you have a stylus, so no, you don't misclick a lot. And you also have access to probably the desktop UI, depending on how it's go. And if you get only access to the mobile one, it will still work out just fine.
Your next challenge, do it on a race wheel. There you go.
Oh, I'm doing it on a Guitar Hero controller. I said this with you in a podcast with you and my crew, Prodox.
Yeah, I remember.
And I got it working as well, as I said then, and I'm gonna get to that once after the second front comes out.
All right, so like after you've like checked out the content, basically.
Yeah, after I checked out the content, that's the next goal,
I hope we're
basically.
getting news about it like next week because
Yeah.
I want to
I
know.
don't
I
want to
know.
wait too long.
I
Yeah.
feel like the news post on Monday is gonna have something.
Yeah.
It's
I hope-
apparently spicy. That's what
Hopefully,
Mr.
yeah.
Ramen said yesterday.
But yeah,
What's
but yeah.
spicy? Like what does that?
He would not say any more apart from spice.
I mean,
So,
That was
ramen
breezy.
can be
That was
spicy.
that was breezy, not ramen. Ramen said nothing. It was breezy. I
Was
said
it?
Muddy's post is looking spicy emoji.
But I have a question, and it's a tweet that Waswere said. I think it's a really important topic to talk about. So on
Although
YouTube.
oh
Yeah,
although
no,
that
go
being
ahead,
said,
go ahead.
we also didn't elaborate on our like words. Like
Words, yeah.
I said like I think I said improvements, and then for Twitch I said spite.
We got a little
Yeah.
distracted.
That did
Yeah, we
happen in the
got very
podcast.
distracted.
We went
Not
off
my
like
fault.
whoosh, dude. Like
Not quite as bad as the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, but
Oh,
Oh
my
no,
goodness.
let's leave that. No, let's not talk about the engineering stuff. Oh, we can go back. We can
definitely watch the video though.
He's trying to. This is a sponsored thing for what is
No,
it?
but like
It's a
but
bridge
I'll start
because
with
of how
like the
badly it was built.
oh no. But I'll start with like the YouTube part first. For the YouTube part, I wanted to like put down all my YouTube videos there, like just like a way to show like where I was in like the game for terms of PvP and skill. My first video was like a next kill in 2015, where back before like instances were viable, you would hybrid ranged and magic depending on like the overworlds, because no one used instances, because if you use one, it only lasts for one kill. That's it. So you had to pay 800k or 1 mil. I don't remember the costs.
Oh.
And that would add up real quick, and it's like, nah, it's not worth it. For 10 kills an hour, you're spending like 10 mil an hour for
That's
that.
stupid.
That's not good.
Yeah, so they changed that, and that also made it made instance a lot better there. But that's kind of irrelevant. The point is, I made those videos at first to be like, this is where I am right now. I just want to upload some kills of like every boss, etc. Legions, Araxor, Virago, stuff like that. And that basically like trucked along, didn't really get that much in recognition until like maybe like the P5 Tells Guide, which is still my most viewed video to this day.
What year is that from? Do you remember?
2017 in July.
Is it still relevant? I might need it.
Nope,
I
it's
haven't
not
done
relevant
P5.
anymore.
Damn.
It's more complex than current low level strategies, where it's a lot
Right.
easier.
Huh.
But for the Twitch side, I said spite, and this actually is a little bit interesting because I've wanted to like kind of like show people everywhere is that like, if you to be a PVM streamer, you don't need to just play music and say nothing. That was literally my sole reason, and I was like, I can absolutely stream with PVM and be able to like be a streamer, etc.
Oh yeah.
That
Huh.
was literally my main motivation to be a
That-
streamer. That's
so,
it.
To elaborate on that, you mean streaming, talking at the same time while doing
Yes,
high
talking at the
PVM.
same
Okay.
time.
So unlike Couchy, Because was Couchy streaming back then? I don't remember.
Yeah, he streamed back then.
Yeah, when did you start streaming?
And sorry,
Ooh,
When did
good.
you start streaming?
I started streaming in 2018. I wasn't able to because I had a MacBook at the time, and recording as is was a pain. I was getting like 10 to 15 frames per second. Not very
Nice.
good, but I still managed. But when streaming was in the equation, I couldn't do it, so I had to be put on hold until I got this current computer, which I was like, yeah, I'll do it, and then it was fun. And
Okay, that's a really interesting like thing I did not know that you started streaming to like basically prove people that you could PVM and still talk at the same time. That's really cool. No,
yeah, again, it was literally just out of spite.
wow. No,
hmm
I that's
And,
awesome, dude.
and remember, like, I'll use that as like a thing that you can use spite in a more positive way as like a motivator to do stuff. It's just that try not to get carried away and uh do it for more, how dare I say, nefarious deeds.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
It's like how Woz and I are polar opposites in our series. I'm the lazy, can't be bothered to do anything efficient guy trying to max in a year, and he's there counting every single XP, going boom, 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 level, 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 and just like completely trumping me in that series.
Yeah,
Right,
but
right.
that's kind of like what my brand is, like, because I kind of almost
Yeah.
built up this allure of being like hyper efficient about things. Like, it's kind of how I've sold myself to the public. Like, if you want to be efficient, watch me. It's
Yeah,
kind
we're
of how.
literally the opposite of each other. I've got all the lazy
Yeah.
people, you've got the efficient people, and it works out swell.
Yeah,
We got it
hmm
exactly.
covered.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through your older videos, Waswere, and you made a whole lot of episodes on minimal maxing. Damn. It took you 250 hours, you said, right?
Yeah, of
Uh,
gameplay time.
How did you get 28 episodes? I mean, wow, that's impressive. So
Um,
because all the planning was included, I assume in the videos. I don't remember. I've watched it. I'm pretty sure I've watched it. Or parts of it.
yeah, so I basically also didn't know exactly how to record back then. What would probably be a good way of doing it, so I kind of overdid it.
Mm-hmm.
But every sort of like phase of the account, like, it started off where like the first phase was getting leeching combats at Elite Dungeon 1 and tokens to get up to 80 combat right away with playing about an hour of gameplay time. That was like the whole first episode. And that only took me like an hour of gameplay time, but because this is played in like such a efficient to the gameplay time mentality, the actual time I put into it was more than 250 hours, but I was just logged in for 250 hours. Like hard
Yeah.
mode dungeoneering, the way I did it was I lobbied as soon as the dungeon started, and then I completed the large dungeon on my main. And then I logged back in when the dungeon was over. So it took like
Wow.
10
Wow.
seconds of gameplay time, or 30
Yeah.
seconds probably per floor, but it took me like 15 minutes to do the large by myself. So like that
hmm
episode probably had like 30 minutes of gameplay time. And
Ah.
it was
People
actually
don't
like
realize
20
the hours
hours.
to edit.
Yeah.
Like the editing time on top of that, because obviously with us both having done the Max series, it's people don't realize the time behind the camera after recording that footage, because you have to do 250 hours of gameplay, but then you have to do 3 times that, sometimes 4 times that in the editing. At least it was for me in that case, where it was voiceover, scripting, narrative. Obviously, mine's a bit different in that regard, but still, you would have done some of that in your series, I'm assuming, was as well.
Yeah.
And you add that on top, and then by the time your series is done, you just look at it and go, "Holy crap, we're halfway through the year.
hmm
It's already
There's
gone."
more. That's just even with basic editing, it takes time. Just doing cuts, it takes time. It takes a lot of time, and you added more than that, Laser Shark. So in your case, I think you'd have probably like at least 30% more of hours in.
I've
At
got a
least,
problem,
yeah.
man. I need to go see a freaking therapist or something, because I'm always so adamant about doing that extra 10% that no one cares about. Only me. It's because
Yeah,
I
like
know
getting
that
good
it's
B
there.
roll. I have to have good B-roll for my videos too, and that takes
Yeah.
time because the
Yeah.
B-roll I want has to be exactly
Perfect.
perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it relates to what I talk about,
Mm,
and
Does
that
it-
I
takes
don't care
time.
about
And
that.
then you have to scrub through all the footage, or you have to take notes in the middle of your recording to be like,
Mhm.
okay, at 10 minutes and 42 seconds, I do this. I'm gonna put this in my notes, and
Mhm.
then make sure I get to that whenever I finish my recording session, and then go from there.
Does it-
I also made like a dedicated recording interface to only capture gameplay, which is pretty funny.
alongside streaming, yeah. Does that
Well,
put
yeah,
pressure on you though? I wanted to ask about pressure when you
not
have made
exactly.
YouTube videos. Doesn't it put no? Like
Not really. Like the only pressure is like, okay, if I have to show this mechanic, I have to remember to not DPS him down. That's it.
okay, so
That's
maybe a little bit harder
so
for
funny.
me.
It's like I've got to control myself. I'm too fucking good.
I'm too
Yeah.
strong.
Someone nerf Luca. He's too good.
That's
Yeah.
definitely a Luca problem. I cannot relate to that. It's the other way
Right.
around.
That's like the only
It's a good
problem.
problem.
It's like the only pressure I have is like, oh yeah, I have to remember to not do this. That's it.
Purposely suck, basically,
Mhm.
is what you're saying.
That's my
Right.
strong suit. Sucking on purpose.
Oh dear.
Yeah, dude, that's so true. Like the clips of messing up a mechanic to show like how it works or whatever, anything else is a lot easier to get than doing it perfectly.
Absolutely.
For mere
No.
mortals,
No.
maybe not this gentleman,
I
but
can't relate to this. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
no.
mean, uh, you have to stress though. Like, let's say if a clip you're doing something and you mess up one of your 5 switches or whatever in a phase, would you still use the clip?
No, I wouldn't.
See, that's doesn't that like I think that adds pressure no matter how good you are. Like you have to have like a for you maybe even more so because people expect you to be perfect.
I
I'm
mean,
Y-
yeah, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like I will get it eventually. So whatever. It just comes
It's
naturally.
fair
we
enough.
all have that thing. Like if you were to make a 1 to 99 guide and screw up, people would be calling you out on that. With Woz
100%.
obviously with his PVM guides, call him out. With you, Lucario, call you out on that. With me, with my ending, call me out on it. Like we all have a thing that we're known for being really good at, and when we don't live up to those expectations, that's when it's just what happened, man? What happened? You used to be cool, man.
Yeah. Do you get hate comments? All of you? Just say yes or no. I'm curious. Like on stream, YouTube doesn't matter.
No, I don't think so.
have you ever checked your held for review comments, Luca?
Oh
Oh,
They
yeah.
are
oh, I
hilarious.
forgot that existed.
Have a look. Have a look. I think you might have a few. I don't think you might have as many. I think if you have I think if you're a good player, you'll still get shit. But I think most people still respect you. I think the bad comments I get are usually related to me either not playing enough RuneScape. I mean like the serious ones, not the ones that like say
Well, I
fuck
only have
you.
2 over the past 60 days. That's it.
That's not very much.
Yeah, that's it. I just found him.
Okay,
I
I've
have
got one here.
0.
I left obviously the RuneScape community for now. I'm on a little bit of a break because I'm just really burnt out and stuff, and I think all my channel knows that. I love the
Mhm.
game. Don't get me wrong. I love the game. I just need time away. I've got a comment. I made a video where I was just like, okay, since I'm leaving for a little bit, let's tell everyone what I'm going to do. So I
Mhm.
made top 10 games to come in 2021, and I just listed all the games that I was excited for. This comment here, bruh, no Final Fantasy, XIVVV, whatever, N Walker, no Tales of Rise, no SMT, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I ain't even going to like King. You've got shit taste. How? It's subjective.
I mean, yeah, it's like, come on, man.
Wait, hold on. And the video's title, I'm gonna quickly. The video's title is
Top
I
10
can't
games
wait.
come. I
I
can't wait to play. I can't
It
wait
says
to play.
I. Wow,
Yeah,
that
it's just
is.
literally just It's like, come on, dude. I would tell you to play some of the game as well, but it's like
Wow.
you're the only one who can control that.
It's
And
like
my taste
your
is
taste.
shit because it's my taste. Okay, cool.
it does. And the weird thing is, or the funny thing is, even if you were to list those games, someone else would shit on you for not calling, like mentioning the other name.
Where's
Game.
Battlefield?
Exactly. You can't please
Battlefield
everyone.
2042. Oh, dude, that's actually really cool. That game. Not gonna lie. Looks
Oh, there's
I
so
have
many
no
good games
interest,
coming out
but
this year.
it's
Like
fine.
that. That's why I started playing. Okay, so a little bit of backstory. That's why I started playing RuneScape last year. And I started creating content by accident. Didn't mean to, but it happened. I was just bored of everything that was out. Like there was no good COD. Halo wasn't out. Forza was getting boring. GT Online is the same for the last 5 years. Blah blah blah. I've never been an MMO player like ever. RuneScape's just been that casual game that I go to, and I think I'm one of the few recently who is just that casual comeback after 5 years player. I've never been big into the game. I just happened to fall in love with it this time around. And so now that all these good games are coming out, I've done my hardcore year of RuneScape, but there's a part of the community that is so attached to the game that they won't let me leave. Like they're not happy for me to leave. It's like, no, you have to stay creating RuneScape content. And it's like, but what if I don't love that content anymore? What if I'm like, it's not something I want to do anymore. I want to go and explore these other games. I want to create new content for other, you know, art forms, call it that, different palettes. But
Some
they're
people
still
don't
like
care.
reaching onto it.
That's the problem.
Some
Like,
people don't care, right?
yeah, some. I mean, like the people that get angry. Let's say Coca-Cola started making. Okay, that's a bad example. Let's say McDonald's
Although,
started
yeah, every
giving
time Coca-Cola
sushi.
did
All right.
every time Coca-Cola did something different, even if people said it was good, they wanted the old flavor back. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's similar. Yeah, but okay, that's a bad example, Coca-Cola, because it's the company's so big that
I mean,
um
like, they're so big that not much, they do will mess up anyways. They're a little bit too big to fail at this point in time.
yeah they might
Here's an
shrink, but that's
example.
it. Stockholder, by
The
the way.
music industry. Okay. You guys are all familiar with Linkin Park? Heard of them?
Yeah, of
No one?
course.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Linkin Park is a band that's very controversial, right? Because from Meteora up to um whatever their
What's the
last
name
album
again?
was called, I
Hybrid
forget.
Theory? Or
Yeah,
oh,
I
no,
think so.
Hybrid Theory is
Hybrid
after.
Theory, Meteora, like they're their early stuff, and they're like very new metal. They're not very. They had a DJ and stuff, but it wasn't more techno sounding. And as they evolved, they became less and less known for what they were. But they got bigger throughout that time period as well because they tapped into new niches, they tapped into new genres. And the album, here's the funny thing: the album they hated, right? When they released the next album, apparently they loved that album before that they said they hated before, and they said go back to that album. It's like, but when that album originally launched, you said you hated that album. Now you love it. And that's the way the music genre works as well. So you see this sort of thing happen all the time over with musicians trying to create new sounds, create new art for themselves. And then you always have their fan base saying, "Oh, I only liked you when you did this album. This was the best album. Go back to that album." But these bands just consistently get bigger and bigger because they're finding new markets. And
Mhm.
so for each one person who says, I'm only loyal to this album, I'm out of here, well, then you've got two new people coming in to replace them who like the new album as well.
Given that they do
Right.
it
And that's
correctly, yeah. Given that they do it correctly, that doesn't always work well,
Yeah,
but
it
yeah,
doesn't always work out. You have to make sure that you're actually, like, worth the salt there. And
yeah,
you also
yeah.
have to make sure that you know how to market yourself properly. Otherwise,
Mm.
if you try to expand, that's not gonna work out for you.
you have
Given
to do it for the right reasons. And that's sort of where I'm getting with my channel is I'm doing this for the right reasons. I'm sacrificing everything that I've built from RuneScape. Why? It's not for money, it's not for growth, it's not for anything. It's for my own well-being and I just want to have fun with video games again.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
that's a huge leap. I I respect it. It's pretty. It's hard to do that because I think if you've made at least 100 videos, you probably get emotionally attached to your YouTube channel in some shape or form, or
Right,
Twitch,
right.
whatever. Like, there's no way you don't care about your analytics. There's no way you don't care about the people who watch you. There's no way. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been there, unless you have like one super big viral video. Then maybe not, but that's different.
Mhm.
Don't think it's possible in RuneScape to have a viral video. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can. Like,
You
like
can if it
I
like, I
mean,
don't know. What define as viral?
I would say like a video that gets on the YouTube trending page, like the actual YouTube trending page. That's a viral
Ah,
video.
impossible.
okay.
Yeah, unless it's like maybe you make a video about PewDiePie playing RuneScape. I don't know, dude. I don't think I even like the most viewed videos that have like 2 million views or something. That's because like over time they got those views, not because they.
The biggest creator to play RuneScape, and it was old school, I think was the Syndicate project, Tom.
Yes,
I
true,
think he
true.
was the biggest who played.
And hold on. I'm trying to.
Shroud's brother, Juke Squad, he also plays. Is
Mm.
that
I
Shroud's
mean,
brother?
Shroud
I don't
played
know.
a little bit ago on stream, right?
Wasn't there the laser beam played it for a bit? He's pretty big.
I
I
know
have
a lot.
no idea who these people are.
What about? I know a lot of people mentioned they've played RuneScape in a podcast or whatever, but that's where it stays. I'm pretty sure PewDiePie also played something similar to RuneScape. I think he made a video on some like old game that looks like RuneScape but wasn't.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
But
The Swedish version.
some kind of knockoff thing. I don't know. Remember what it was called. But yeah. But yeah,
Adventure Quest.
no, not Adventure Quest. That's actually, I think most people play RuneScape probably play that. Let's be honest.
Probably.
Played Adventure
You
Quest
know,
before.
Hell
I
yeah.
logged into RuneScape when
See?
Adventure Quest wouldn't log in because it had the login limit.
Mhm. Unless you were a guardian.
You guys pay for that game?
Oh yeah, the Guardian. Yeah, I remember that. Adventure Quest. I think I went down to the store and they had Adventure Quest cards at the store, and I used one of those.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's-
back in the day where I used to get that stuff.
Yeah, I
used
never
to go
found
to
those.
name of
So,
this game?
at Microsoft.
Sorry, what, Eddie?
I don't think I remember this game at all. Was it?
Adventure?
Really?
You don't remember Adventure Quest?
No. Hang on, let me Google it and
wow.
see if I can.
Yeah, you definitely. You probably will. What? No, wait. There's no. Do you remember
It's-
Miniclip and stuff? If you don't remember Miniclip, it's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm not that old.
You're older
wait,
than.
you
I'm
old?
youngest.
You mean young?
I'm youngest here. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm a kid, dude. I'm like 5. So.
Oh my
What's
Wait,
your favorite
Gaga.
flash based, I guess, mini clip Newgrounds game?
Games,
Mhm.
tower defense. Always the
Oh,
tower defense.
why is no
games
one
for
saying
me.
Age of War? Why is no one saying Age of War?
I don't
Or
even know what that
Upload?
is.
Bloons TD4.
Oh, okay. Let me just link you guys a video, and just put it on mute and like watch it. You'll probably recognize some things.
I
Just have a
think
look.
mine would be Drag Racer V3. I was always fond of that game.
I
was
don't
fun.
think I know that game.
You
I play a
basically
lot of
just-
games on Miniclip. That's like the one place. That's really about it.
Oh, I love the games that were like the ones where you had to upgrade your sled and you had to keep going further and all that jazz.
Yeah, like you learn to fly in that
They're
cart
always
kid thing.
fun.
Holy
Just-
crap. That learn to fly game with penguins is incredibly funny. You beat the game and then
Yeah.
they just run through a glacier.
Yeah, dude, that game is. It's on the
Well,
mobile, by the way. If you want to play it, like it's
Was it
pretty good to download it on your phone.
Is it the Yeti
Wait.
Olympics or whatever that one is as well?
Wait, sorry,
Yeah,
what?
wasn't
The
there one
Yeti
where you
Olympics
bash
where you
it?
have to smash the penguin.
Yeah, you smash the penguin and then its head bounces and it just keeps bouncing and bouncing. It's so
yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
brutal.
Wow, dude, I remember. Oh no, I forgot about this
Yeah.
one. Spank the monkey, dude.
Man, I don't
Oh.
recognize most of these that you've got in
Damn
our
it, man.
Talks.
That is
Actually,
the-
I don't actually either. Like none of these flash games ring
The
a bell to
monkey
me.
one, yeah.
Yeah, because that's like who hasn't played Spank the Monkey, dude? I would play the song right
remember that.
now, but copyright.
I remember when that was
Hmm.
found at school. That was an interesting,
I'm
an
surprised you
interesting
guys.
textiles lesson.
Huh. But so RuneScape wise, what do you guys think is the limit for RuneScape on Twitch and YouTube? Because like, that's actually maybe a bit of
Consistently for RuneScape on Twitch, I would probably say the consistent limit would be like 700.
700
Yeah.
viewers.
Yeah,
That's
concurrent.
huge.
If that is
Yeah.
the only game you're ever going to be playing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that not regarding new updates? Because new updates like get you over 1,000 easily. Like YouTube, you like 2,000
Yeah,
viewers.
that's counting no updates. I think
Okay.
that that's like the highest you can ever go with no new updates.
What's the highest you've had without an update? I've seen 500
Without
on
an
Twitch.
update? Like
I've seen-
5, yeah, no, 300 or 500 without an update, I think.
Okay, yeah,
I
no,
think-
that's
yeah.
seriously good though.
Although it depends, like when I got Solo Yaka, I got 1K.
yeah, that, was,
when I
that was insane.
So given that your content is interesting enough, 700 on average. Let's say if you were to have an amazing idea every single week, 700 would probably be peak average viewers.
Right. That would be like that's like the absolute highest.
Yeah.
I would expect 500 as like
Yeah.
the baseline instead, which is what people like Mike Rue and Ryan get as well. I
Yeah.
hover around like 200, 250, 300 max. If
That's still
that.
so high compared to like the average, like the
Right.
top
Yeah.
1% or whatever. That's insane. Like 5 years on Twitch, you're a you're a top 1% or
You're a
whatever. Like
you're a rock star.
yeah,
But
literally.
that's Luca's charm. You know what you're getting in that package. It's the perfect marketing. It's just like, okay, we're gonna watch Luca just rip through shit like no tomorrow, like god tier. And I'm not just like, you know, talking out my ass here. It's just you know what you're getting from you, and that's what people
Hmm.
want to see, and that's what drives
Exactly.
people. Whereas with everyone else, they're still like, okay, I'm only gonna tune into this person. Oh, they're doing quests today. Now they're doing elite dungeons. Like it's not consistent knowing
Hmm.
what you're gonna get.
That
Whereas
being
Luca's
said,
just
though,
you
I
know what you're
do
getting.
get different numbers. Like, I actually have a lot more numbers. And I feel like doing elite dungeons nowadays, which I
Because it's
do
more
really
interesting to
enjoy.
watch. It's interesting
Kind of,
to
yeah,
watch, right?
yeah.
Because there's
That's
more to it. There's different bosses, I guess, and
right. There's different
Mhm.
bosses. There's a lot more different movement tech you could do, and there's a lot more interesting things. And it's also a lot more approachable. More people do it, so
it's
people
funny you
tend to
say
lock
that
onto it.
because I usually when I tune your streams and you are doing elite dungeons, I don't watch a lot of streams. I lurk, then I leave. But that's
Mm,
just because I can't sit there for long. But
fair enough.
when you're doing elite dungeons, I'm actually more inclined to stick around. I don't know what it is. It just looks more appealing to me than, in my opinion, Telos. I don't know. I just sometimes I've seen so much Telos personally that
I mean, let's be
can't
frank.
see it.
It's also over 5 years old. It's
Yes.
old hat.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I mean that definitely doesn't help. Even though it's like still like the most lucrative boss in the game for profit. So
Yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's still relevant.
Just
Mm.
boring.
Yeah,
I think
it gets like little stale. Uh, for most players. For me, I don't think so. But for most players, I can definitely see how it can get stale, and that me suddenly like decide to like, okay, today I'm gonna do Elite Dungeon today, and I can see why that will be like a lot more appealing to some people, for sure.
Hmm.
yeah. And for me, like wealth is no longer a motivator.
Nope.
No.
It's like
Agreed.
I have everything that I want in the game. I have like extra GP. Like I've had a party hat in the past. I don't want it again in the future. So I'm not going to do something I don't enjoy because it's more money than if
Right.
something that I could enjoy. Like I would rather do Solak for 60 or 70 mil an hour than do Solak for 100 and 120 is probably as good as I can get at Telos. So for me
Mm.
it's like I could I could do that, but I'd rather have more fun and put more hours into Solak to get that same sort of gain.
Hmm.
Right. Right.
You're playing for enjoyment rather than playing for like just the idea of playing, basically. The idea
Mm.
Yeah,
of progress.
yeah,
You're playing for fun rather than progress.
Right.
yeah.
If you don't have
That's
any,
the switch I made.
yeah, and then you enjoy more playing other games. I just simply don't make content on them on my channel
Well,
personally.
mine was
Right. I don't make content at all for the games I do play off stream. I want to because I think I could put my own spin on it. And
Hmm.
maybe I should go out there and be like, okay, this is like I'm gonna make a second channel. I'm gonna upload a little bit of here and be like, this is what I got. You know?
Hmm.
Maybe. But like that but then I have to divert even more time away from the main channel, which I still very much enjoy making content for, both on the Twitch and YouTube side. So at that point it's like, okay, I'm just gonna be sent to the meat grinder.
That's the key word. You're enjoying it, right? So that's
Right.
why it's appealing to do that. For me at the moment, it's I'm not enjoying making that content. And the thing is, I've been very open with people is like if you just want RuneScape from here on out, because this took a while. It took, a fair few weeks to finally muster and come to the top. It was either quit or go out in a blaze of glory doing content that I'm enjoying because I don't want to just upload videos because I could easily just pump 1,000,001 moneymakers guides. I know the algorithm. I know what works for RuneScape. Like I've learnt the
Mhm.
market. But I don't
Right.
want to do that because I don't have enjoyment from just milking that content anymore. I just want to go back to again the word fun, playing video
Right.
games for fun and sharing those experiences. And if people want to only see RuneScape from my channel, I told them, I said, look, it's okay to unsubscribe. I'm not going to feel angry at you. I'm not going to get angry at this. I have made amends with this, knowing that people will jump off the ship here. But for all of you guys who want to stay, and I feel like I've done a really good job over the last year of building my channel around me, not just the
Mhm.
RuneScape content. So it's
That helps.
surprising that the numbers I seen, 20 or 30 people unsubscribe straight away, which I expected. But then surprisingly, those numbers came back with the new content, which is like that music thing that I was talking about before. They're
Mhm.
coming back, but I am so freaking proud to say that majority of them have stuck around. Even if they're not going to watch every single video, there might be one or two videos that, they might pique their interest depending if it's the right game, blah blah blah. But it does make me feel proud that they're willing to give me a chance. That's all
Right.
I ask from them, is just give me a chance to put my love, passion, and joy into something else. It might not be RuneScape, but that same love is in those videos as when I made Mad Max back in the day. I just want to
Mhm.
get that back.
I
So
think what's important is that you put the you more in the video. That gives people more reason to stick around. If they watch you because of something you provide and not necessarily yourself as a person, then it's going to be harder.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
at this point, people probably only go to me for the BVM content at the
y-
moment.
you are the person for anything rotation, boss tips, new content, testing things to ask questions
If
on
I
and get
get
a
around,
reply.
yeah, if I get around to it, anyways.
You're always streaming the new updates. You have like
Yeah,
2,000 viewers, and people are like,
right,
yo,
right,
is the staff any good? The new staff. How can I use it?
right.
You
Hmm.
understand that quicker than anyone. I need someone else to like help me with that
Well,
staff, for
currently
example.
I'm waiting for like other stuff, but whatever.
Hmm. No, but on stream, I mean, like on release.
Oh yeah,
I'm not.
oh yeah, on stream, that's different from like YouTube. I feel like YouTube is like a different market.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
still,
kinda.
though, you're the person on Twitch for that kind of stuff,
Fair enough.
and that
Fair enough. I
that
can see that.
and that may hurt you if you were to like do a huge U-turn and switch content.
Yeah, 100%. That would definitely be like for on a numbers game, anyways.
Yeah, I mean that's I've watched so many. I've consumed so much content. Saying that numbers don't matter most of the time they do. Like you will
Kind of
not
matter.
necessarily like in what you like. For example, A Shark is enjoying what he's doing, but it you can't deny it. At some it will hurt to see less or more dislikes. It simply is the way of
Right.
and on stream
not
it would be less viewers. It does hurt.
for
Right.
me,
100%.
Maybe not
not
permanently.
really. I've accepted. See, this is the part. I call it social media S word demonetized. Not going to say it,
Hmm.
but you know what I mean. I call it social media because I've
Commit no
accepted,
breathe.
commits no
Mm,
brief. Exactly. I am okay with going back to nothing because in my heart, I'm happy now. I know that sounds so cheesy and corny, but I've had this stress on me for a long time now after maxing, where it's like, what's the next thing to do? Because that's always been my goal. 15 years playing RuneScape. I've always wanted to have that max cape. Now that I've got it, and the day that I had it, everything just like, okay, what do I do with this game now? Like I had no drive, I had no ambition, so I started to learn more. I started to do questing. I started to get into PVM, and I got all the way up to Telos. I got to Telos, and I'm just like, okay, I feel like I've experienced enough of this, but I can't keep making videos on this if my heart isn't in it. I know there's some
Mhm.
people out there who can do that, but
right.
it's just not me. You know what I mean? Like if Luca, you stopped loving PVM and you hated it, right? But you're making those videos
Eh,
just because you know that your community
I
likes those.
no, I don't think I've said that. Although that
No, no,
happened
no,
to
no,
me like
no.
No,
Jim
no,
was
I'm
saying no.
saying
if
Hypothetically.
if
hypothetical. Okay, got it.
yeah, hypothetically, if you got to the point of starting to hate PVM, but it's the
Mhm.
only way that you get those views, you get those likes, you get that money, is it enough for you? Do you think that if you got to that point, you'll just do it for the sake of the money, or would you again?
Personally, yes, actually.
Okay,
I
Then
don't
I
think
could
that's a bad thing. I want to say that
then I
straight
can
away. I
then
don't
I
think
can
that's a
treat
bad thing.
that like I then I at point I can treat it as a job, divorce my feelings from it completely, but still put enough passion into it, and then relegate that passion into the other hobbies I want to do to keep myself sane. That's how I would personally do it.
That's what most people do with jobs, right? Lots of
Right,
people hate their jobs, so they do it
right.
for the money.
It's
I-
like
Fair.
I'm only here for the
Uh,
paycheck,
as
etc.
long as the content doesn't suffer, it doesn't matter what your motivation is.
Yeah, exactly.
that's
Like
wow.
some people, I hate to say it, but some people do good things for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I just come at it from the perspective of an art form more than
Right,
anything, and that's
right.
on me.
hmm
Like, I critique myself harsher than anyone ever could, and when I see something go up that I know that I didn't put my heart into, I just hate myself for it. And now that I'm free of that, trust me, I've never been happier. Like, never been
That's
happier.
good.
It's no bad ill will on RuneScape at all. I love the game, don't get me wrong, but it's just creating RuneScape is what put me in
hmm
that position.
Yeah,
And
I get
feeling
it.
like I was locked to that too, because I couldn't break out from it until I accepted that I was going to lose everything. I couldn't break out of it. It was always like, oh, I'll try this, try this. That didn't work. That didn't work. Screw it. Whatever happens, happens. Let's move on. And
But
that's
hmm
a big decision.
Right,
but
100%.
but what is the goal? Do you still like? Would you want? Let's say you were to grow in that Splitgate game or something else. Would that not maybe ruin the game in the like in the long run for you? Because I feel that's something YouTube does to creators, and I've heard many larger creators. I'm talking 500k plus subs saying that content creation ruins the game for them. Not in the short term, but in the long run.
I would agree, but I'm not doing it the way that I used to anymore. So
Yeah.
now I'm playing games first. If that game makes content, good. If it doesn't make content, I don't care. I won't upload.
Okay.
The opposite. I think it helped enhance my enjoyment of RuneScape.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me too.
For me it's made it a lot better. Like I don't think I would have gone for
Right,
Golden Reaper and put all that time in to do all these other bosses if it weren't for me making a YouTube series about it.
right.
I
If
think I
I
would have
if
stopped at a certain point. Like this is too much.
right, if I didn't start streaming, I probably wouldn't be playing at the moment.
Same here. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, I think I would have come back for Carapack, but I would have not been around for the Monolith. I would have not been around for the quest. I've not been okay. Maybe the quest. I would come back for new things.
I would have kept tabs on it still, of course, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
playing at all. I would
Yeah.
just be like observing from a distance.
Yeah.
Here's a
I
question
don't
for you,
think I would
Phantoms.
even be
If,
logging for a new boss if I wasn't streaming or making YouTube
No,
videos.
I would be curious to try.
say, everything that you've just said about what you've been making your content for, take money out of the equation. Do you still do it? That's the question.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
do it.
would. I would. I
That's
would.
Although that being said, like at this point in time, I'm into that point where like, yeah, I can do this for fun, even if money wasn't there, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because it is
Mm-hmm.
enjoyable still, and I would like to do so. But as like initially, probably not really. I'll probably just do other things.
This is a difficult topic because some people might view it the wrong way, but to be honest, this can really like this. Whatever answer it may be, like I think it's hard to understand as someone who doesn't create content. This is I don't know, it's
But now
difficult to
we're peeling
explain.
back the layers of a creator because there is different outlooks as a creator, and there's nothing wrong with being greedy. Greedy is how you succeed in life and you get ahead. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. If
Right.
if Bill Gates wasn't greedy, we wouldn't have the computer. We wouldn't have Microsoft. We wouldn't have any of these gaming consoles to play on. Like, greed has shaped the world. And greed is always looked at as a bad term, but not really, because you're looking out for yourself and you're putting food on your table for your family, you're putting a roof over your head. Whatever pays the
Hmm.
bills gets it done, right?
Yeah.
And so if you are looking at content creation, because this is good for people who want to get into this, if you're looking at it from a monetary standpoint and your market, you know, go for it, do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But
hmm
also on the vice versa, if you're like me and you're the artistic side and you don't feel happy with doing it, there's nothing wrong with taking a step back. They're both the right way.
Hello. I am the one that took a step back. I have only made videos in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
But I
There you
have
go.
still played the game. Like, like you were
hmm
saying, would you
Wow.
play the game if not? I'm playing it nowhere near as much as I was before when I was doing regular videos, but I still log in. I've like done a few Carapack kills, a few hard mode kills, a few regular kills. Double XP, I've been archaeologing away, but whether that's because I came into the game later and I still have a lot to experience because I've only really been playing for like 2.5 years properly, that probably plays a part
Hmm.
of it.
Fresh
But
boy.
also, like, I still enjoy quite a lot of aspects of the game to play rather than just making it for content.
But-
Right.
Have you guys ever seen a video as like a goal and a means to play something in the game? For like I sometimes compare videos to getting a 99 because making a video and sharing it with someone, whether that's helping them or entertaining them, although I would say entertaining people is more fun than helping people. It just is, because when people laugh or whatever at your jokes or something about it makes their days just so much better than someone saying, "Hey, thank you for the guide," even though that's obviously still good to hear because you feel like you're, helping people out, being useful. Do you guys ever had like a video that, the purpose of making the video made the game more fun and like actually give you a reason to do something out of your comfort zone, for example, like Golden Reaper for Waswere?
Yeah, yeah. Like a good example would be my most recent Boss Man episode. I really wanted to get a second staff drop because I had bought the other two pieces and they were sitting in the GE. And then I was gonna Barrows dye the staff and make it, and that was gonna be like the title and thumbnail. That was my whole plan from like almost the start when Carapac came out for that video. Was like that was going to be what I was going to do. Like I wanted to get the drop in solo, so I wasn't trioing with friends. I was doing it all solo, and that was my whole goal and the whole reason why I wanted to do so much Carapac. And it made me have a lot more fun at Carapac because I started to make games out of it. Like I wanted to test to see the difference between the Grimoire and the Jas book. I wanted to see how Scrimshaws did there. And I wouldn't have done as many Carapac kills in that short period of time if it weren't for me wanting to get that title and thumbnail combination.
Yeah.
Which made Carapac that much more fun.
Right.
I get that.
And that stuff does look
before-
very good with your outfit, I must say.
Yeah, it's a nice little staff.
It's
Yeah.
kind of contradictory to itself, but just before I took my break away, I had some of the funnest weeks I've ever had in RuneScape, funny enough. Like
Wow.
I started with this is the whole post max thing. So I was trying to find things. I started off with, okay, let's do a series where, well, not a series, but I was getting into live streaming. So I was like, oh, hey, let's live stream my progress with PVM because I'm completely shit at PVM. Let's just see, what it looks like for a loser to go to someone who's not bad. So we started doing this, and it started me with Raksha, and I couldn't do it. And then someone suggested maybe you should, get a better mouse. So I got the Razer Naga with the 12 buttons. And funny enough, the first day that I was learning Raksha was also the first day I was learning 32 different keybinds. So I was in the deep end, but that was fun. And I've never had fun in PVM like that before because it was challenging to me. I had support from, everyone in stream. I had support from my clan watching and everything like that. But had I have not started that series of trying to PVM, trying to get good at PVM, I would never have touched it, ever. The same goes for the following series. So I did 14 days the series. There was no goal whatsoever. I was just like, I'm so bored. Let's just put a bond on a random new account and go with it. See where it takes us. And over those 14 days, we just went from let's skill, do this, and we tried to do it so unorthodox. It was like, I want XP in this, so I'm going to go do a quest. Screw it. I'm not going to cut a tree. I'm going to go do a quest and then 10 other quests to get that XP that I need to then go do that mini game that I wanted to go do. And the community really came together to show me different ways to play the game. Again, would not have happened if it wasn't on stream.
That's
So that
good example.
was huge. That was really, really huge for me to be. Again, I was so down in the dumps, but those last few weeks I was playing, best weeks that I've had on RuneScape because of those series.
So you wouldn't, you say you wouldn't have even, like, would you have ever made a new account on a bond and said, hey, let's just go screw around? Would you ever have done that without, like, being a content creator?
No, I was literally only doing that because I was coming up for an idea for a stream series and getting my community. Again, this comes back to me being more connected with community sort of thing. I wanted to bring my community together and do something with them. So that's where the idea came from. Same with the free to play. So the third series, final one before I broke, was let's make a free to play account and do every free to play quest. But here's the twist: is we're all doing it together. So I had like 10 people from the community just running around free to play doing all of these quests with me. It was so fun.
That's a really good way of that's perfect. I that's a really good way of explaining how having a YouTube channel can make you do new things and make stuff more enjoyable in game than it would have been without it. But
Also, I think people going for PVM feats, put it on a YouTube channel. I think that also basically contributes to why people would want to do it in the first place. Because I want to show people, hey, I did this. Give me money.
no, Lucario, literally though, like it's like RuneScape back in the day where you got your dragon chain body, you can flex on someone else, and nowadays it's a PVM achievement you upload to YouTube. I
Right,
think it's
exactly.
similar. It's like
It's the exact same thing.
in MMOs you want to show off. Like there's no
Right.
denying. Like you want a mount, you want your cosmetic, your title, your warden. I don't know whatever it is. It doesn't matter. In MMORPGs, you want to be cooler than the next person next to you.
Right.
That fuels progression.
And
And you
and having that is like, even if you don't really upload a lot, you're still like kind of dipping your toes in it a little bit.
that's how you started out.
I would say
And
that
and
doesn't. I would say that whole being better than the person next to you doesn't really apply to me because I've been so far behind. I've always viewed RuneScape as a game I'm never going to be able to catch up to the rest of the player base, if that
You
makes
can't.
sense.
You can't though.
So I've
You
never but I've never looked at it that way, and so I'm playing more to experience all the different things in the game and just find fun bits. Like I started the Clue only account partly because I'd maxed on my main, so I had no idea where I was going to go. So it was fun to then put this restriction on myself and be like, right, I need to do 60 levels of crafting. Is there quests I can do it just to break up the grind a bit, like you were saying, Jim? Just doing
Yeah.
stuff slightly different, more
There's
fun
so
ways.
many quests out there. Hey.
Quests are quite useful for unlocking locations and stuff when it comes to clues as well, and clue farming mediums with yetis. I don't really know if that was what anyone has ever done, but that was always fun. No one knows where yetis are. Like I was streaming, collecting yetis, and people were like, "Where are you?" I was like, "Yeah, just under the area up there. It's all good."
Isn't there a quest
the
about that? And you
Fermentic
end up picking
area.
up
Don't
Yeti
worry
poo?
about it.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Jim,
I
I
think
didn't
I remember
catch
doing that. There was a quest where we pick up Yeti poo, isn't there?
that. Yes, yes.
Isn't
I can't remember if that's in the same series. 'Cause it's been at least 6 months since I did it.
isn't there's Yetis in Violet is blue, and that's all I know. And Violet is blue too. So I'm very
One of
very.
Miscellanea literally has you meet King Vargas, who got turned into a Yeti.
Yep.
I've done the quest.
You have done that
What?
quest for the managing
No.
Miscellanea
Really?
thing.
I haven't done it though.
Oh
I
my
haven't.
god, are you serious?
Thrones Miscellania is useless on the main, I'd say. It's not useless, but it's not very useful. It's better on Iron Man.
Best on Iron Man, but it's still, if you're poor, you could probably get some nice bit of coin from it.
I don't need money. I only need money to create content. Sounds weird. From a content
Yeah,
creator
exactly.
standpoint, it's like, yeah, I know, but I might as well just do some PVM, get a big drop.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
Slayer.
or you could just merch your viewers and then
Yeah,
they'll-
dude, I could
you'll
just
get all your
easily
money.
guys buy
now,
the
now,
80
you're
sphere.
now you're getting into dangerous territory, my friend.
Hey, don't act like we haven't all done something what changes the price. I remember
I
the essence of
definitely
penalty.
changed
think
the
I have.
price. I changed the prices of Armado Battle Stabs before.
Oh yeah.
I know firsthand. On the flip side, though, that's also on them.
I mean, yeah, some people they hears one thing and they're like, "Whoa, that must be it." Okay, so gotta buy, dude. I made a comment about Greater Chain in the video. It's just like maybe I said, and people were mad at me for merching Greater Chain.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't
if
know.
you're gathering clues, it's great.
Yeah, and if you
Oh, yeah,
and also
true.
it could be good at Carapac too.
Yeah, for the
Rift.
the clouds. Oh, Rift. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah.
the rifts.
I messed up the GE when I was first starting my channel. Hey, I didn't even know that was possible. When I
How?
made my ED3 guide, I pushed the price of charming potions through the roof. And
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't I
Pretty
didn't
good.
mean to. I didn't know that was a thing. It was just like, oh, okay. So when people watch videos, it has impact like that in the
Like
game. Okay.
they actually wake up and remember that some content in the game actually exists now.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's like,
Well,
hey guys, Orphan came out. Here's charming potions. Go use them. Wait, was it Orphan
Yep.
or is it
yeah, I-
120 Herbivore Farming? Let me take a look.
yeah. I can give a good example of something that happened like just now, like literally today. So I uploaded a mage gearing guide video, and I
Mm-hmm.
put conk really early, and um, a bunch of people have since reached out to me that they sold their knock staff, um, bought a seismic wand and greater conk. And then I just went to check price check and trade right now as we were having this discussion. Conk
Hmm.
has gone up 10 mil from 50 mil to 60 mil, and knock
Mm-hmm.
staff has gone down 10 mil from 140 mil to 130 mil
Mm-hmm.
based on the recent update. So that's something where I had no intention of manipulating the prices, but merely by me making that video and people watching it, it's going to impact the prices. So I think
Right.
as long as you're not intending to change the price, like if I had bought like 15 conks before, or I told my friends to buy conks before, then that would be kind of like I'm making this video to build up the price. But no, I'm making this video to educate people and give people correct and information that's going to help them.
Hmm.
And if it happens to impact the prices, then it happens to impact the prices.
It's not your
Yeah,
problem.
Every
Yeah,
DX,
it's not your issue,
every
not
really.
my
DXP video.
problem.
Yeah.
But my
Uh,
clan has become so good at identifying what video I'm making, just because whenever I need, like, if let's say I need to do raids, and I'm like, I say something related to magic, they're like, oh, you're doing the video on the new staff, huh? Oh, all right. And then I have a lot of, okay, not, I know people in my clan, they merch off using my videos just because they're in my clan. They recognize something. They show me proof. Even Brilly Mister. Um, I know he's and you too, Waswere, right? Like we people have like, just because I talk about something somewhere. Uh, what was it you? I'm not sure. Like it doesn't matter, because if I were to say it in RuneScape public chat, people would do the same thing. It's not. I say it in my Discord, people look at what I say and then buy up items because they know a video is coming. I had one guy that knew I was making a video on Greater Chain. Once I uploaded it, he showed me a screenshot of him selling like 30 of them or whatever.
Pretty good.
Yeah, like just because he knew it was coming. He was guessing, uh, because I said in a previous video, like wanted to test the abilities or whatever. Um, he bought like like the stock of them and sold them once I made the video
I
for
think
big
the
profit.
biggest example of an crew and the Wyvern crossbow.
That's
Mhm.
going down at some point. Like let me.
Thankfully, once I get over to my budget Tells guide, I will make sure to say don't use it because it's worse than even some bows.
I mean, that's because of the accuracy. Just that's the only
No,
reason.
no, no, no. There's
You
more.
generally think it's worse than like a Nox bow?
Yeah.
No. Mm,
If you were to camp one thing, I would say Noxbow over.
Everyone panic sell. Lucas says no. He says no.
I
Yeah.
wonder how far we are on the podcast.
Well, because Knoxbow, because you're thinking about Blackstone
Blackstone
arrows,
arrows,
right?
yes, 100%. If
Yeah.
you were to camp one thing, not switch, which maybe at that point you probably should switch.
It's expensive. Like dude,
No,
Blackstone
No, it's
arrows.
but
they
They're
so they
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 are
changed
very
it
cheap.
they changed it very recently.
They
So
don't proc
before,
constantly.
Blackstone arrows used to proc on every single ability. You'd always lose them. But now when it gets to 20 stacks, you don't lose them except for auto
What?
attacks. Yeah.
What?
It's not
That's
And
like
like
the
if
barely
you
a factor though, because it's easy to switch to just Araxide arrows,
yeah, but
and
people
not to
aren't gonna
mention they'll
switch
still hit.
aren't gonna
Then
switch
not.
though. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not switching ammo unless I'm using, Hydrix bolts. Because
Oh
I mean,
man,
sorry.
Daganov queens back then, and Gelatinous Mother, and the Daganov kings, and all of that. They're too hard for me to switch in mid combat. Oh no, this is all the way back to 2004.
Huh?
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
I'm talking about the Daganov mothers, the quest bosses that actually want
Oh,
you to switch.
quest. Sorry.
It's
Yeah,
like
I'll shut up.
it's like yeah, it's like you guys remember that switching has been part of the game, and they expected you to do it for some time now, right? It's like, come on, man.
Mm.
It's not hard.
I agree. It's not. It's
I
not
would
hard.
say it's not hard, but you have to build up the basics. It's all about layering that cake. You've got to layer the bottom and then feed it in, feed it in, feed it in, so you get that icing on top.
But then you
Like
become
Mm.
it's
chunky boy.
building. Oh yeah, give me them chunky prop.
God.
I was looking for a reason to say chunky. I like saying chunky. I don't know.
Mm.
Okay.
But
So, what was your favorite YouTube video to make, guys? Favorite one?
Favorite one was it's a combination of the 200k muff or the 4K star 200k video. Those are two favorite videos I've made so far. Mainly because I gathered up like the script, turned it, converted all the information into relevant bits, and went as super in depth, and they both did very very well for themselves.
Mhm.
Very happy with how those videos turned out, and
Nice.
I also learned a lot about editing. That was like the first time I was like gone a lot more serious about editing, and
Huh.
like super serious about it at the very least, and turned out pretty well for my limited skill set.
That's good to hear because otherwise, sometimes you put a little effort in and it flops.
Right, but it's the opposite of it did the opposite of flop. It did very very well. Like, and that's like a general theme with all my edited videos too, which is good.
That can't.
Like,
Not everyone can say the same here, sadly. That's the
mm,
problem. Sometimes it.
right.
But my favorite video, I don't really have. I have too many. I maybe my review or like my SGB video covering the SGB like ECB. That was a really fun one.
When is the Staff of Armadillo one?
Uh,
Do you
I
have
I have
one?
I have someone that wants to borrow me one. Dude, people
Mm,
like buying them right now. Like, oh, I'm kidding, but like, um,
right.
I mean, I don't think that many people would be listening to this apart from like the diehard fans. I think 5 or 10% watches to the end of near the end of
Mm,
the podcast.
yep.
And then
Podcasts.
after it's uploaded, people watch it fully usually, but like the
Mm,
initial burst.
right.
But yeah, I will eventually probably cover the staff unless the new weapons of the new boss are so much more interesting and new stuff.
I mean, you still probably have to cover it in the future, anyways, because tier 95.
I mean, yes, yeah,
It's really easy clickbait.
Mm,
exactly. Oh, I already made a video about the staff technically. That shit that I mean got 34,000 views, so it's caps locked.
I.
The entire title. So and
Um,
that was easy to make. Like I put more effort in that Titan. Okay, the Titan Reach video did well. I mean I put way more effort into unless it's just that little invention video or like my review of that other Jangex game. Most of my videos
but
been doing really good recently. Yeah.
yeah.
I'd say my two favorite videos, I can't really decide between them, are either the first RuneScape Professor, whatever I called it,
Oh yeah,
one
that was
where
so
I
good.
just did
Mm,
the Telos stuff. Although actually, maybe the second one was more fun to make when we did the collab. Jim, I think you were with that one.
Killing me in the desert. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Was that of the Gillinor size or whatever? Or
Yeah, it was the how heavy is Gillinor, or what's the mass
ah
of Gillinor, which was fun to working out gravity from how an arrow dips over 8 meters and going off of that.
Those videos
Uh,
deserve 50, 60,000 views, bro.
yeah, I
They
agree. Like,
so
why
do.
not? Like, why didn't
yeah.
that? It's so unique. Like, there's literally nothing like it.
maybe that's the problem. It's a bit too unique.
Yeah, maybe it
Mm,
is. Yeah.
And the other one
Justice
would
for
be
Eddie.
the PVM trailer, where I got
Hey.
from a whole load of people. You helped me with ED2, I think, for that.
Yep. Yeah.
I got some. I think it was Last Long who was streaming AOD. I just went in their chat. I was like, "Can I come and spectate?" And just grabbed clips from everywhere. Solak was quite hard to do, as you cannot spectate unless you are actually in the instance, and you can't get into free cam. So it was like trying to get angles that looked sort of cinematic.
that's hard. That's very very difficult.
I'm looking at it right now. It still looks really good.
Oh, I
I need
watch
to.
I go back every couple months and watch it. It's really cool.
I need to update it now, though. I'll update it once all the Elder God Wars are done, maybe. Do an updated version.
Sounds like a good
Ooh.
idea. And what about
Get some
lasers?
action there.
Oh, sorry.
I
No, all good.
I
This-
asked a question. I was going to let you guys go first.
Yeah.
What's
So
worse?
my favorite video to make was the history of best in slot gear.
Aha.
That
Mm.
was a lot of fun. Basically, I had seen, I think it was Rarg had done it on Old School, and he had basically gone through and shown the gear how it progressed from like 2004 to 2007, and then
Mhm.
from I guess when Old School came out to current day. I was like, this is so cool, and it's like I looked, no one had done it on RS3, and it was a lot of fun to research, to go through, to try to figure out everything I could. Obviously, I wasn't playing for the very early days of EOC, so I did get like some stuff wrong.
There's a
and
lot of
Lucario-
jank in Earl EOC.
Yeah,
Like so much jank.
so Lucario helped out with a very nice comment with most of that early stuff.
Right.
But that was the most fun to make because it was the first time where I put like 30 or 40 hours into a video versus videos being like, oh, I'll make it today.
The
And it
archaeology
really-
guide.
I
Sorry.
guess the archaeology guide was
Way more. Way more.
That was 25 hours. It took me
What?
to make that guide.
What the heck?
I mean, you gotta.
Oh, whatever.
No, you gotta
Look,
count in the
speed up your-
time.
speed up
Oh, I
your,
guess if you want to count
Recording.
the time to get 200. Oh, including recording, yeah, it was like 25 hours. I started it on like a Sunday night because I got 200 mil on like Saturday afternoon. Then
How
I took the day off.
the
Sunday
f-
night I started the guide, and then I uploaded it I think Tuesday or Wednesday when it was ready.
What is this?
That video is for context. People that are watching the video are listening. Sorry, is like 90 minutes long.
79.
This is BS.
Just recording the audio would take me. Usually it takes me 3 times as long or 4 times because I don't script videos usually. I kind of plan them out, but dude, 25. I mean, it's still a lot of time in video. Like
That's
it's
a lot of
not
time,
nothing.
but it's like 25 hours doesn't seem like that much.
No,
Considering
not on the
I spend
video.
I spent a lot more time on the script as well to make sure everything flows and has good pacing and etc.
You try to perfect. This was you got to also. This was back when Waswere was, I think, fairly new as well. You try to. You were a little bit further, I think, in comparison with Lucario. YouTube wise, you were going full time as well, right? And that's
Yeah,
why
it was.
yeah. You want to take it real
So-
seriously.
Mhm.
I was
500 subs, right?
450, 500 subs, I think.
Yeah. So
When I uploaded that video, and I was like, my whole thought process, and this is like into YouTube growth, but my whole thought process was basically, I need something that people are going to want to click on. I was like, they don't. If they see a 1 to 99 guide from me, they're gonna see Protoxes, they're gonna see the one my crew eventually makes, they're gonna see all of that. So I need to prove to them that I know what I'm talking about. So
Right.
I did a big focus of the introduction was I have 200 mil archaeology and I am in the top 50 for archaeology, so I know what I'm talking about. You can trust me despite the fact
Yeah.
that I have 500 subs. So I
Yeah.
leveraged the fact that I was 200 mil and the only person who is 200 mil to get that, to
Make
get
it
people
right.
to trust me and to listen to me. And I think that probably allowed me to compete with Protox because he didn't even have 99, you know, and when he uploaded the video. So
Nope.
all the people who are complaining like, oh, why are you making this video when you're not even 99, would then go watch mine.
Yes, and I do. I only went to 99, so
Yeah.
Not
and, like,
even
I don't
heightened
thi-
senses SMH.
Yeah.
to be honest, archaeology is really straightforward at a certain point. I'll be honest. Apart from the mysteries, it's basically once you know the ins and outs, it's very samey all the way up to 120, I think. But
Oh, yeah,
sometimes you
yeah.
would want to stick to a certain point, like stick to count it. I think at like 91 or whatever it was, because you don't want to use porters or whatever, even though it's a little bit faster, it was more expensive and all that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like prepping the collections ahead of time. Like archaeology to like efficiently train it, you can't just go to the highest level spot you're going. You have to say like, okay, I'm going to do this collection log, so I'm going to camp this at 90, 97, and 103. Or I'm going to
Mhm.
do this collection log and I'm going to camp it at 93, 98, and 101. I don't know the exact numbers, but so the way
Yeah.
I structured the guide was about you're going to do this for this level, even though it's not the most XP per hour at the time, but you're going to complete these collection logs, get a couple million chronotes, and get all your money back. And basically was the idea I had with it.
That
Right.
video
Chronotes
is
were crazy
evergreen.
expensive.
Yeah, it was. Apart from if you were on like in the leaderboards, you were making money because you had the access to like the stuff first. So
Oh,
it evened out. It evened
I
out.
actually made on my way from 9. So I spent like 8 bill getting to 99. And then going from 99 to 200 mil, I made like 7 bill.
So okay, so that's close enough. Still one more loss, but that's not bad.
Yeah. The only loss I had was the Matic because I bought Lemi's Matic once he got 200 mil.
Ah,
So I
oof.
lost 6 bill on that.
Interesting.
Nah.
That was the only loss. But because the unnerfed Inquisitor pieces, like before they nerfed it, you would get like I think they nerfed it 10 times, tenfold. So I think the drop rate was 1 in 5,000 because I had a couple hours with 2 or 3 Inquisitor pieces, and I got a total of like 21 on my way to 200 mil. So I was selling them for like 150 mil, and I was getting 150 mil every couple hours just training archaeology.
Wow.
I've never had over a bill.
That is
Same.
Sag.
I just don't have anything that gets me that sort of money. Like when I PVM, I
Gricko.
lose more money.
Yeah, you've got Gricko, don't you, Jim?
Yeah,
You
it
got
sold
Gricko.
for 1 bill.
These lottery bosses.
Hey, I mean, the entire game is lottery bosses, except for Telos, where you can probably consistently
Telos
make.
and ED1 and QED are like not lottery bosses.
Yeah. 81 solos, more specifically.
Yeah, ED1 group is like don't even bother.
I mean, unless you're doing trilogies, they're not that bad in trios because you can quickly skirt and get the extra chest.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's for
I
KC.
won't
I mean,
complain about.
But then like if you're like grouping, then the running part isn't really reduced, which is the
No.
longest part.
Yeah, I guess you're.
I won't complain about not having GP either in the game. Like I won't
Yeah.
complain about it because I know I'm a lazy player and I can't be bothered putting in
Same.
that much effort.
Yo, I'm
So
a
I'm not
lazy
gonna complain.
I get you.
I'm
I get- yeah.
selectively lazy.
Selectively.
Yes.
Like selective hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah,
Um,
I'm lazy to a way where it actually doesn't benefit me. Like I'm too lazy to go to Traveling Merchant to buy an unstable heirloom to get 5,000 runespan points. So I'm just spending 4 hours in runespan instead
Oh
to
my-
get those 5,000 coins.
That's not very efficient. That hurts my soul.
It's not efficient, but like I'm too lazy to pay attention to the merchant, and it's just annoying.
I'm gonna commit hard stop.
What have we got today in the I haven't even looked.
I've changed my mindset of playing the game in a certain way where it's like I used to be of like the whole do the cheaper method and then you can afford to do it, but now I've changed my mindset to no, do the 3 times faster method to get a skill that you hate out of the way and then go make 3 times more money doing something that you enjoy.
Hell yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
that's
the
how
mindset that I
I
have now.
go about it, which is why like I want to like make sure like everything is done as quickly as possible for the stuff I don't like.
Yeah.
This applies in real
Back
life
in
too,
the
by the
day-
way. Make sure you get to that.
It
Back in
does
the
kind of
day, I
suck.
did my prayer through a lot of big bones. This is like 2009. I did a lot of my prayer through big bones, and then I upgraded to dragon bones. And it was real tedious for my 99 herb lore. I think I did like super attack potions because they were making money, and it was just so slow. But I didn't have that way to make enough money to justify using the expensive stuff. But now in
Right.
RuneScape 3, I think the point where ED3. That's always what it comes back to. Is just that there's this one method in the game that just fixes, well, not fixes, but it's also just
It's a solution
ridiculous
to
money.
everything.
Yeah, it's just the one-stop
For the
shop
casual
for
Joe.
everything.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's better
I
than
do think
most
that
methods.
needs a dungeoneering requirement though. It's just dumb. It's even in the name. Elite dungeons, no dungeoneering requirement. That makes zero
Right.
sense.
I made a full video on that.
I
yeah.
I just think it kind of sucks that there are skills that we hate that you still have to dedicate time into to do the fun things, right? That's the whole point of
Hunter.
games is they should basically be fun.
Eh, there's
Hunter's
enough.
alright. Big game
I
Hunter.
I mean, not Big Game Hunter makes it justifies it in the end. Before that, no way.
I mean, like half of the skills in the game are trash. Like agility's not fun. Divination is
No,
click all.
half of the games are the same skill. It's called bank standing and using portables. Half the
Ah,
skills are the same
yeah.
skill.
Just click, click. Order,
Yeah.
recharge, Grace of the Elves, sit, click.
Exactly.
I mean, that's why. I mean, it is nice because you can play as a second screen game and basically max within a year.
That's the problem where the fun went for me. Like,
Yeah, maxing.
where did the fun in this game go? Because honestly, if you're sitting there fishing, are you having fun? Like, honestly, ask those questions. Is this fun? Am I woodcutting fun? You know, where does it cross that line between chore, tedious, and fun? And I think it crossed that point once I maxed because I didn't have a goal. It's like, what am I doing this for? I don't care about 120s. I don't care about 200 mil. To me, that's just not something I'm interested in. But for other people, it is. But what do I do? Post max, there's nothing for me.
I mean, that played a big part in why I stopped doing the clues. At that point, I got to hards, did about 100 hard clues, and was like, I am not enjoying a single part of this anymore. There is no point in continuing. And yeah, and it's still sat there. I've got the footage recorded of these clues that I opened, but I haven't uploaded or done anything with it because.
Oh, funny you mentioned that. I had footage. So the whole 14 days experiment video thing that I was doing, I actually recorded that and I was uploading it in parts, but it got to the point where I was editing it and no one was watching, so it didn't really matter anyway, because most people seen it on the stream and I questioned myself. I'm like, why am I re-uploading this? They can just watch the stream. I know it's not in the most condensed, easy to watch format, but it's there. Why am I making more work for myself for something I know most people won't watch? And that's like a little battle that I had to come up with there as well. My favorite video, by the way, is the full RuneScape story in 10 minutes.
That's a good one. That's actually like people in my Discord very recently talked about that. Like that people watch that. They spacebar quest, but they watch that because it actually like helped them understand the
don't have
lore.
to be questing
Because
while
they
understand.
spacebarred it. It's like
I-
it's like a meme of the kid sabotaging himself on the bike. It's like, I don't understand the lore, and the bar, and like the pipe is just spacebar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's
I-
like you did this to yourself. I don't have any
I
sympathy.
imagine
I mean, we
Raven
did.
is kind of like, come on, man. I put all that effort into that and you're just going to go watch Jim? Come on. Read my freaking quest.
I am mod Raven, man. He actually like replies and stuff and talks about
He
quests.
does. He really does.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
passion.
Yep, good stuff. I got Mod Ash replying to me the other day about another video I did for Old School. I would say
Oh.
this is tied for my favorite video. I just randomly went on Old School preparing for Group Iron Man, which is next month, I think. And I was just practicing on my Iron Man, and I'm just like, what can I do? You know, strategies. I found a quest that I've never seen before because it came out in 2016, and I wasn't playing RuneScape at all. And as I was playing the quest, I was like, something's really familiar about this. And then lo and behold, there's a person who looks like Ghostface. If you don't know who Ghostface
Oh, that
is,
video.
it's
That video.
the Scream Killer. Yeah. And that just came about because I was practicing for something completely irrelevant and it turned into a video. But I don't care if no people watch that video. I have had so much fun editing that because it combined my love for RuneScape, because I love this game that I grew up with. But then the whole quest, for those of you who don't know, you play the entire Scream 1 quest. Movie in that quest. It's the entire plot from Scream 1 in RuneScape. So what I did in that video is I paired all the parts from the movie to the actual quest and like synced them up and everything and matched them together to point out what parts they were paying homage to and everything like that. So
That
fun.
is
It was really, really
unique.
fun.
Again,
pretty
that's
cool.
really unique. That's a really cool idea. Yeah, it's sadly some people. I think some people disliked it because they. There's only three. Well, for whatever reason, like when I look at dislike ratios, 86% is bad usually.
Yeah.
86% is anything under 95 is generally like a worse performing video. Anything under 90 is generally it has something wrong or you said something wrong. And you know,
I get 95s all the time.
that's good. 95 and above
So-
is like 4.5 stars and above. Like
Yeah.
no, actually, mobile games it's 5 stars or you're crap. Never mind.
Mhm.
So YouTube Shorts, however, seem to have a tendency to be recommended to old school players. So my 1 to 99 guides, the woodcutting one especially, only has a 70% ratio.
70.
And if you
That is bad.
read the comments on it, you'll kind of see why.
I'll have a peek.
It's just a lot of people not understanding what they're actually watching. So
Mm.
Oh my gosh, one has. Wait, you just literally made that archaeology guy thing we were talking about earlier. You literally
yeah,
carried it in 60 seconds. It has a 50%. Just
I
like
know.
50%, dude. That is terrible.
Hey,
That is.
Why?
I
That's
mean, it is
134 views. What? The power
my
of
God.
shorts.
the power of shorts.
Yeah,
That's a
I,
lot.
I mean,
I actually I
I'm not a
made
fan
it
of
so
that
like I
myself.
disable people from being able to re-upload my content as shorts.
Wait,
haven't
what, you
done
mean the
that yet.
clipping thing? The clipping
Yeah, the
thing?
clip. Yeah, I disable that from my videos.
Can you even see if someone clips something? Because I cannot see
I
clips
don't.
anywhere.
I don't, but I still want to have peace of mind that I don't want anyone doing so.
I would definitely want a clip of you. Or like the
Hey, there's some fun clips
The
from one of the
noises, you know?
quizzes.
Maybe, yeah.
I think it goes. You know the channel comments and mentions. I think it goes under the mentions thing. I haven't had anyone clip me, but
Hold on. Oh wait, I haven't been clipped. I have been mentioned in the podcast posts, but that's it.
Have you seen the new feature for the bigger channels, the thanks button?
Yep,
So
I
you
turn it
can
on.
now, yeah, you can now you tip people as well.
YouTube takes like 40% or whatever.
Wow, it's not worth
Yeah.
it.
YouTube's like, yeah, it's a donation to the viewer, but I only turn it on because it's like streaming super chats, and people usually come into my streams to say thanks, and I don't really stream often, so
Well,
I know
funny you
people
mentioned
wait.
that. I changed my structure of my monetization towards more of a membership thing, and I'm rewarding them with merch and stuff. So it's like they get physical stuff for it too.
Ooh.
But I used to do Patreon, right? So I had a fair few Patreons who I'm very thankful for, and they supported me for obviously when ad rates are down and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Patreon took 7%. Obviously, YouTube takes 30%, and I made the decision last month or month before to stop Patreon and just do YouTube. So I decided to sever, what is it, 23% more profit out of it to go
Mhm.
to YouTube. But the
It's better.
reason why I did that, it's manageable. Everything is in one location. It's
Yep.
all coming through one paycheck. I've got all my members listed on one platform. It's easier to manage. If you had a group or a team, Patreon's obviously good. But if you are a solo gig trying to do this, I'm happy to give away 27% more to just have it manageable at the end of the day, all in one place.
I totally agree with you. That's why I quit Twitch as well. One of the reasons. I hate having split platforms, and I don't even like Twitter. I like using the community posts.
This man.
What?
I like it. I live on Twitter, to be honest.
Bro,
I
I've seen your
Twitter is
tweets
a-
all day today. No,
I-
Luca was trying to troll people earlier on Twitter about punctuation, wasn't it? I seen
No,
that tweet.
I'm not troll. I'm just
Twitter
I'm just saying what I
sucks.
like.
Dude,
I'm
Twitter.
just
Let me
saying
just
what
go to
comes
your.
to mind.
Let me go to your thing. I see. Man, I love bouncing between no punctuation and proper punctuation for tweets. It's pretty great for conveying emotions and so. Wait, what is this a reply? Oh, it's not a reply. Oh,
He just likes to say that when you
I just like
misspell
to
something,
I
it
just
makes
like to
something
talk
more
about
elaborate.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I
I mean,
Twitter.
starting a tweet without a capital letter is
Oh yeah,
a crime
that's.
punishable by death.
I
Yes.
agree. That is.
Luca, what are you doing?
RuneScape
Look, it's
must
just
hate
there
me
for
because all mine
conveying
are at RuneScape.
emotions and tone, as I said.
Oh man, spams. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Twitter's like half of my feed is people liking these OnlyFans models, or
Liking,
it's.
you should change it so it's set to like the latest tweets only. Go to the top of the screen.
No, but like,
Next to
dude,
latest tweets.
dude, people. maybe I should just unfollow some people, but like I mean,
Yes, that might
I
be a
can't
You
good
like.
don't, you don't get their likes on your timeline if you have to
Yeah,
if
just
you
have
set
it
up.
set
It's
to just
dumb,
tweets.
but you can make it so you only see tweets. You don't
Yeah,
see people liking stuff.
but then
This
it's
is the
like,
podcast stuff I listen to. This is what we had to do from the start. This is gold.
I mean, the first 30 minutes of this podcast, I'll be honest, like it gets. I'll actually probably include that in the intro. Like the first bit is a little bit of everything. It goes from reaction stuff, and then it gets into like the deeper stuff of YouTube and like the more personal. But seriously though, Twitter, it's either that or you like see people liking discussions about things I generally don't want to see. Like
Again, you're saying liking. You're looking at the wrong thing. Just look at the feed
how
of
do
the
I turn that
tweets,
off?
man.
Yeah, you're
Literally,
looking at the
it's
wrong thing. It's like
I
just
mean,
at
have
the
it
to
top.
be
show
honest,
just like tweets.
I went through my likes. Apparently, I also have a. I mean, I liked a picture of Pokemon before, so yeah, I'm also at fault here. I am.
Bravo.
I'm looking through my
Agreed.
likes right now. I see some really beautiful. I see O. I'm sorry. Look at this for a second. You guys know who Odablock is,
Narration.
right?
Of course.
That is beautiful.
No.
All
I
right.
Wonderful.
I don't know, dude. I have a
But yeah,
question for you. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you go ahead first.
I split myself across nearly every platform except for like Facebook and Instagram. I don't have
Instagram
any.
is cool, dude.
I want to see your LinkedIn
I don't have
profile.
anything there. I don't have a
Oh,
LinkedIn, unfortunately.
I do, but I don't share it for obvious reasons.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I already have some weird people that literally like I don't know what they want to meet me or something. It's a little bit strange. I
We
won't go
touched
too.
this topic at the start, right? We touched this topic at the start. How big do you think a RuneScaper can get playing RuneScape 3?
That was before, right? Or is that?
We only touched on Twitch. We only touched on
Yeah, we
Twitch.
only
We
touched
never
on
talked
Twitch,
about
not
YouTube.
YouTube.
Oh, true.
YouTube is like different.
I think.
In terms of active viewership, because I think subs is a very lying number.
Yeah,
Yes.
subs are
Absolutely.
lying.
With
Subs is a
RuneScape,
On
tough-
hell
RuneScape,
is.
it's a lying number. Like really, you can
Subs-
get. Yeah.
Subs are more a function of your total lifetime views, I think. It's
Yes.
like 150
Mhm.
times, or 100. Take your subs and multiply it by 100 to 150, and that's probably around your total lifetime views. But I think on an active viewership for a video, I think you can get into that like consistent 20 to 25k range. There just isn't enough people otherwise to get higher than that.
Yeah.
Like,
The only reason
they-
it gets higher is if gets to old school viewers or like
Yeah.
100%.
MMOs or whatever. So because of
Yeah.
some drama that happens within Jagex. That's
Yeah,
A big-
if you look at like Ryan's videos, for example, you're probably averaging about that 25-30k. If you sort of obviously take some of them out of
yeah.
there because of like it's a guide or something that's obviously looked up a little bit more, but
Yeah.
And
New
rewatched
content.
trying to get an average, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Ryan, that freaking Solak thumbnail is beautiful, and that
He's
ambassador one.
he's
two
used that
thumbnails
before. He's used
are
it
so
before.
good.
The Solak one. It looks really similar to one he's used for his
Yeah.
guide, I think.
Yeah,
It's
the
really nice,
Solak,
by the way.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I
That's
like my thumbnails. My thumbnails are great.
Let's have a peek, Evo. Brian, let's have a peek.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah, you have the
Me and-
classic speed kill type thumb because speed runs in games have these types of thumbnails. I'll be honest, like
Yeah, they're great. I love them.
I would say, how are some of them working? What the like the melee Telos one? I really dislike. I think it's a bad thumbnail personally, but
It's the
melee,
best one I
which
could
one's
get then,
melee?
unfortunately.
yeah, but let's
Eddie
say
and
that.
I spent a
Oh.
whole night redoing his.
Yeah.
But the Virago solo purple bomb one, for example, is
That's
excellent.
awesome.
Excellent
Yeah, that's
thumbnail.
awesome.
The Telos,
Yeah.
what is that, dude? Is that someone hovering in midair with a hat with
Yes!
a dual hat? What the?
Have you not seen that meme before?
No, I think I
Uh.
have, but I might not like the Virago
This
solo team
guy.
split is nice. What the? Some of these are actually. I forgot. I was thinking you would have like. No, for whatever reason. Okay. The speedcore ones are really good. I like them a lot.
I love the 200 melee kill streak. It's
Let's have a
the
peek.
300 one.
Wait,
Yeah.
300? Let's see.
10 months ago.
Oh, yeah. Oh wow.
I don't know if you'll be able to show this on the podcast or whatever.
I could
We're just
potentially, depending on where we. I mean, I edit parts of it, but it's usually the start. So like,
direct people to the channel then, so they know
I'm
what
I'm
we're
gonna link
talking about.
all of you in the description,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah. I'll be honest. Like, you didn't. Who said that earlier? Like, you don't edit podcasts. Who saw? Like, before we started. Who was that?
Me, I
Oh,
just live stream podcast. Everything's on the live with me, bro.
I'm gonna use that as an
All the
excuse. I'm not
speaks
gonna
are out
edit
there and
this
everything.
apart from the first 30 minutes, unless there's like a long pause or something that really needs to get cut out. Then I'll cut it out.
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
remember that though.
Good.
Love those awkward silences.
I think especially the start, because that was so weird. I don't know. It was like we went from like the goal was like YouTube related stuff, and then we went to right. I don't know. I felt like we felt off topic, and then we suddenly changed again, and then we went to the.
All about
We
the
go on
bringers,
many
man.
different tangents, dude.
That's the
was.
best podcast.
I mean,
Topics are a good guideline, but
being-
when they just go on a
people
tangent,
want
that's accurate.
timestamps though. Like I'm going to. I will have to neck,
they?
dude. Yeah, I
Do
mean,
they
I
want
did it on one of my
timestamps?
videos, but that was easy because I was like interviewing.
That's the
the
biggest
players.
mistake. Stop, because then they won't stop asking for it, and it's 10 times the effort. Once you
It
start,
is.
you
It is
cannot
a
stop.
lot. It's so much to like think of the topics, and then
Bro,
okay, I
people
won't
are
do
so
it.
entitled to that shit now. Like, they're like, oh, you don't put timestamps. What the fuck? And it's like, dude, okay, do you want to do them for me? Go through all my videos and do timestamps for me, please. Tell me
I
how
don't
long
mind
it
it.
took you.
I don't mind it for
Classic
guys.
live concert thing. You'd always scroll to the comments to check for the song time.
Yo,
Absolutely.
that is
I'll
so
let someone
true.
else do it. Someone else does it, and then I'll just copy and paste it in the description. Boom, we're done.
Yo,
Hey.
yeah, I should. Maybe someone watching this and wants to listen again will do it for me. I'll give you a cookie
Yeah,
and a
you've
heart.
listened to it once. Now go back through it. Like,
You're doing
Tell
my
'em
job
now.
for me. Uh,
Mm.
I've a bit of serious question. Do you guys think, as a content creator, well, it doesn't matter if it's streaming or YouTube, you have some kind of responsibility, and that can have a mental impact on you when streaming or making videos?
we kind of touched on that earlier a little bit when we were talking about how the market and stuff gets
Yeah, but that's what we
influenced
didn't
in
like.
some ways. Like,
We didn't
I
get
know
into
we
the
didn't go
taboo.
into it, but I guess it's a similar thing, right? I've never obviously had
Are we talking
have,
RuneScape
but-
or?
Yeah, it's kind of like a RuneScape thing, but like more content. Because this was talked about in the content creator Discord, I believe, with some with JMods, and I can't talk about it as long as I keep it vague. I think because it's in a gray area. If you were to actually physically merch off of your videos, like as long as you're not purposely like.
as long as it's your own
Not
opinion,
deceiving your
you're not
audience.
using any like knowledge that you've gained
Yeah,
through some
yeah.
way
I
that
think
is.
I don't know. It seemed more like insider knowledge more than anything.
Yeah, it's insider knowledge. So say if like Jagex told us that God Wars Dungeon 3 was going to have a this is not true, by the way. Full
We don't get
disclosure.
info. We don't get
We don't get
anything.
info.
Ours 3 will drop
Panic buy, panic buy.
$2.99.
New
But
mole,
they
by the
say,
way.
like there's gonna be a new bow and it's gonna be an upgrade to Blackstone arrows. So Blackstone arrows are going to be really good now. And they're
Yeah,
gonna
if we
go
knew
up.
that.
Stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then we went ahead and merched Blackstone arrows and bought them ahead of time, and then
Yeah.
we got a profit when the content was actually not necessarily released, but everyone else knew. So that's what we can't, according to Jagex rules, do. But
Yeah.
everything else
It's
is
fair game.
okay. Like
Yeah.
if we
Like,
if we
they-
wanted
like, they-
if we
like-
wanted to, we could merch our viewers, and it wouldn't be against Jagex's rules, but it would be against our own sort of code.
It's
of
not
ethics.
ethical. It's not ethical.
I'm
It's
to do
not
that.
ethical. It's like it's not against the rules, but
Yeah.
it's like it
You know,
still
I'm not
comes
gonna
off
name
as
anyone.
awful.
Yeah.
And not to mention, you also inherently sacrifice other like parts. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
I'm
But-
not going to name anyone, but there is
And-
creators out there who do that, where they specifically, for anyone who doesn't know this and you get caught in the trap, they will specifically buy tons of bullshit items, tell you to buy it because it's going up, but
Oh, I
then they're
know.
going to crash it on you and you don't
Right.
get anything. It's merching clans just on RuneScape, so do not fall for
Right.
that BS.
100%.
Yeah, there are people like that.
Right.
I've seen it. And
And Jagex doesn't care because in their minds it will just sort it out on its own.
Blow over, yeah, basically. It's kind of
Mhm.
like the sand casino. I don't want to.
Like
Yeah.
you said, no one listens to this point, right?
What? Huh?
I mean, I don't
Really?
have
No one
much to
listens
say
to this point,
beyond.
so it doesn't matter what we talk about right now.
Delete the
True.
sand casino now.
Yeah.
Let's start it.
Delete it,
Hashtag
Delete
delete
it.
the
please.
sand
Yeah.
casino.
But
Delete it.
do you guys
We
wonder
hate
about
sand.
sharing your
It's-
opinion about like creating content on it? Is that something?
I think you're a sellout if you do. That's my straight up opinion on it. I think you're promoting something that is bad for the community, bad for the game. It's also a horrible topic to be promoting. There's rules and regulations against gambling in real life, so why wouldn't there be about this? I think it's almost the same extent where you're feeding someone's addictive personality and addictions through your content because they might not have the means and accessibility to do it themselves. They're going to get their fix through you, which still isn't a healthy thing to have.
That's a big
Right.
range strategy for YouTube, actually. What if you were to make if you make you make people dependent of your videos? That sounds big brain, dude. I'm kidding.
What do you think Syndicate
Don't do
did
that.
with the CS:GO?
Is that what people do on CS:GO? Like, actually?
He owned the
The
website
gambling
that you
stuff.
used to
Yeah.
bet
Oh,
skins
Syndicate,
on
yeah.
and never.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
Oh, he got shit for it though. Like, even though it was a large YouTuber, but it's blown over. Like, he got like I think there's some weird
I
stuff
mean,
with
there was
Syndicate, man.
some people
With his
got
girlfriend as well. That's going
completely
real far.
removed, but
Yeah, that's dude, there was
You know
some
what I mean? Like, it's that
crazy
sort of
things.
thing. I lose respect for you if you're going to do that. It's like, okay, you can make money selling drugs or doing, other illegal stuff, right? You're making
Yeah,
your bread, you're hustling, whatever, but I don't respect you for doing it.
Yeah,
There's the right way and the wrong way, and I think that's the wrong way to go about it.
that's a fair.
Mhm.
In OSRS, they do it a lot, don't they? I'm pretty sure like staking is more acceptable there, or like accepted, like more
There's
than
a
RuneScape.
tax.
Oh, there is, but that doesn't change. Like imagine
but
if you
it's
had to
still at its
pay a fee
core.
to get into a casino. People would still gamble.
Right, it would, but
I don't know.
at
It's
that
like
point in time, it would be a lot less lucrative in that case.
if it was
Yeah,
high, I guess
if it could stop 10% of people doing it, that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
that's a win indeed. Yeah, but yeah,
Right.
then
Yeah.
someone makes a video or a stream and like more people do it. So it's kind of like counterintuitive. Kind of.
I think there's ways that you can show the content in a positive light. Like I would say the dual arena isn't inherently evil. It's just the way that it's
It's-
currently set up leads to bad behavior from everyone involved. I think Jagex could do a much better job of having the dual arena in the game and having it be a more positive environment. But
More
that's not
more
something
We also
fun.
have dual anywhere, so anyone that wants to just like do it like that,
Literally,
like, you can
take the
literally
money out of the
duel.
equation. That's it. That's the problem. Just let people duel, take money out of the equation, problem solved. Like,
and we already
there-
have that in the game.
Yeah,
But
but
it's
no
there's
one,
so
no one
much-
duels. No one duel. I've not seen anyone use that system except for free-to-play players. Except for free-to-play players.
I mean,
Because
that's also.
Baldi's dead.
I mean, like, here's the thing though: if they're not gonna do it at all, like in the first place, like the only reason why dual arena is currently used is just for those stakes.
Yeah,
because of
but-
that money. It's not because of the PvP fun part. It's because of the
Polypore
money.
stick, dude.
Right.
PvP, by the way.
It's
Yeah.
it's not PvP at all, and because players are not interested in PvP, any PvP content is going to
Wait.
be a waste.
Yeah, true,
Surely,
true.
hang on. The solution is to just remove any restrictions from it.
No,
So-
no, no.
No. But think about it. If you couldn't have like set, you can't use prayers, you can't use anything. No one's going to use it, right?
it's use what you have.
Then it'll be a bit of then
No
that
one-
won't really become gambling. To be fair, yeah. Then it'll become a little bit more skill based, and
Yeah, that's true.
that'll
If
have
it
its
goes
own.
to
That'll have
skill-based,
its own
yeah.
problems. Like it'll have its
Scams.
fair share of exploits. Still,
Yeah.
you'll still get scammy. You'll still get people to.
But how can you get
Ghosting.
scammed when people can use whatever gear whenever? Like, sure, you might
Yeah.
message it, but that's something that scam
Right.
It
people say
changes
stuff all
it
the
from
time and they
gambling
don't
to
do
risk.
it, right?
Yeah,
It'd
you're
be,
taking
like,
out that
very
gambling
high-
problem.
Yeah.
They should remove legacy. Actually, no, that will make it worse. Probably
Yeah.
remove legacy from the duel now because then people would just out. Yeah, I mean, with skill.
They would
yeah.
turn off abilities and just auto attack down, and it would just take longer.
Yeah, or like
Mhm.
a punching thing.
Less GP
Above
per hour,
the-
people won't do it. There you go.
Right. But if you
Efficiency
did
mindset.
remove all restrictions, that might be that might play into like more like high risk PvP. That might be a
Eg-
little bit more interesting.
yeah,
But
it
then
revives
again,
PvP
that would
content.
also kill it, because then you would just then it's like no one cares about PvP. It's literally just a wilderness, except you can control it to a degree.
Wow, that's actually
But
big brain.
you don't lose the stuff, right? That's the
You
like
only
you wouldn't
lose
lose your
like
As you
gear
say.
inside of
yeah,
it.
you only lose like you only
That is
lose like
that.
what you risk.
Wow. Okay, that's an interesting way of. Huh.
The other bigger problem with Jewel Arena is the fact that it is used to launder GP through dupes, hacking, and also gold trading. It's how they
Yeah.
clean their money, and that's the biggest issue from that. Like, yeah, people are staking, gambling. People are literally losing their houses over this. I've got so many stories from friends who have gambled literally their life savings into this game.
Down
And
payments,
I
right? Like not physical, like a 500K or whatever. Maybe houses are expensive here. Sorry, like houses are really
no.
expensive here.
Some people have gone into like literal debt and bankruptcy over buying real gold, buying bonds or whatever. And see, that's the one reason I think Jagex turns a blind eye, because people are buying so much bonds. I think it chews into their profit margins too much to say we need to get rid of this. It will leave a
Right.
big hole in that portfolio. But by removing it, you're setting a precedence that you don't stand for that bad gameplay, that bad mental health, that bad um, people putting themselves into debt. You're not an enabler of that process. They're always going to go and find a fix somewhere. They're going to play in another game. They're always going to do something. So Jagex is just saying, well, if they're going to do it somewhere, we may as well take a cut. That's the
Mhm.
approach that they're coming from at the moment. Whereas I think the right thing to do is to remove it and be the bigger person and say, no, not in our game. We don't stand for this, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, they're run by a hedge fund. Hedge fund wants money. That's how it always will be.
And not to
So
mention that like the quote unquote right way would not be the right way in terms of business sense. And
business
because
first,
like
game
even if they
second.
fix it, there's no guarantee that they'll make more money. Like there's no guarantee the extra goodwill will result in more profit.
Yeah, true.
No, it
But
will
it
lose
does.
money. It will lose money 100%. But
But
it's
your
the
image.
precedence.
But do they care about their image? Like,
I mean,
is it
maybe
because there are evil companies out there who do not care about the image at all and still make record profits.
they care until their profits go. I think Blizzard is a good
That's right.
example right
Yeah.
now.
Right.
Yeah.
They always push the boundaries of what's possible, and then they dial it back, and then be like, okay, we fixed this.
Jagex with
Please,
Treasure Hunter, they were
yeah,
dragged into court, right?
pro-
Oh man.
possibly, yeah,
No, they
yeah.
were. They were dragged into
The-
court.
It
I
was
don't
it was a
remember
hear
who,
it was a
but
hearing
It was a
about
hearing in Parliament, and it was
Mhm.
more just a
information
details about
gathering.
what is going on rather than a like court proceeding.
I
Mhm.
I mean, Treasure Hunter did change, kind of. You can see like it's still the same thing though.
Did they
Right.
actually change it on desktop now, where you can see the
Yep.
chances?
Great.
They have on
Yep.
desktop.
Yep. You can see like right away.
Where?
If
I
you
mean,
go
that's
categories,
That's also
win
like
categories, and then view
basic mobile
probabilities.
stuff. Like
hmm.
mobile games
Category.
are also kind of required to do so, I believe.
Your
But
dollar per XP is horrible. And that's the thing. Like, if they really wanted to push it, they have to up it, and then it becomes easy escape, pay to win, blah 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 blah. But realistically, if I was to be a person who was going to buy microtransactions, I kind of feel cheated at the moment with how
yeah,
far that dollar
Right.
stretches.
It's like it's a complete scam. An actual scam
A
on the whole.
even with good promotions, the stuff you get out of it isn't that much time saved. Except with the exception
Mhm.
of if you use skilling dummies and proteins on DXP, then it gets a little bit better, but then you need to wait. So
it's more efficient to buy a bond and use that GP. So if you're going to spend like $6 on microtransactions, it's more efficient to buy a bond, sell it for 30 mil GP, and then use that 30 mil GP to do a faster training method than it is to buy $6 worth of spins.
that's probably I can see that definitely being 100% true.
I
Because
also,
But that's not fun to do, so no one does it.
when I did my deep dive into this and I went into the underworld of RuneScape and all that investigative journalism shit that I did, right? I came to the conclusion because the whole premise of that video was to find out why people are doing this. It wasn't pro uh, RuneScape. It wasn't pro buy gold or
Mhm.
whatever. I just wanted to get the answer of why the hell people do this. And the number one thing that came back to me was if I buy a bond, I get 30 mil. If I spend 6 mil on gold site, whatever, I get like 4 times that. So my hard earned dollar in real life is going to get me X amount in game. And that's how they were justifying it. Is their real money going into game equals X dollar? Why wouldn't I not go for the other one? And a
Mhm.
reason why I said, "Why do you feel safe doing this?" I said, like, "What's the reason?" And they go, "Because no one I know has been banned. They haven't done anything about this. If they started banning everyone for this, sure, I wouldn't do it. But they haven't set precedents that they're going to take a stand on it. Like the gold seller people, they do get a ban, but the buyers, from all my research, and I had over 100 people that I interviewed, and I was writing down everything they said, all of them said they've never had an account banned for doing it. And I was just like, how have I got a sample size this big with no action being taken?
Yeah,
Was it
usually
And
you get a 2 week ban for buying and a perm ban for selling. Is usually what
I I have experience in
the
this, and it's
That's what I
gonna
was
sound.
going to say. I thought you.
I have bought gold before, as a kid, and what happened to me is I bought some stuff. I think I think it was like 50 mil. Yeah, it was 2013 or whatever, and I mean even before I think as a kid I don't remember. Dude, I've done it as a kid. I've done some crazy stuff in RuneScape. It doesn't matter. I've botted, when I was 8 years old. It doesn't matter anymore, dude. I don't care about like
most
talking
people
about
who
that.
say they haven't did, so it's fine.
Yeah. So
I
so
mean, I wasn't playing.
yeah, dude, I was picking flax, man, with an account that was my friend's. 8 years old. Oh man, but I bought 50 mil, and what happened is I think I bought an armor set, and the day after that, the money was gone from my account, but the item was still my bank. And my theory is they cleaned the GP like automatically. So I happened. The reason I think it's weird because why didn't they remove the item? Um, so then I bought gold a second time, and what I did is I traded it to my other account, and then it was still my account the next day. It never was removed. Uh, that obviously doesn't work anymore because they just track accounts now. That's like what they did with the Elite Dungeons bug, but they temp banned people. So um, yeah, that's
But do you
that.
feel like you got more money justified out of buying it rather than whatever the in-game shit was at that time? Like your money stretched
I
further, right? And the
I
punishment, do you feel is worth it? Like a lot of people said that about that key bug abuse, whatever they wanted to call it, where they gave us ornaments or whatever. People said, "Hell yeah, I'll do that a million times over," because the punishment was like a slap on the wrist to the crime. Put it that way.
It is now. It wasn't. It was harsher back then. People got banned for way less. I was actually scared when I was buying gold. But I was also a kid, so
Grotesque armor thing people got banned over for selling that to general stores.
people got banned for lots, like the penguin points as well, like just nothing basically. And now even if you account for XP per hour inflation or whatever, like
Well, I'm not up to date on today's law, so what is the standing? If any of you guys know, maybe you don't. What is
2 week
the
ban.
standing if you buy gold today? What's the
Oh,
ban?
I don't think you get banned. I think it gets rollbacked
rolled
unless you
back,
Just
do
rolls
multiple.
and
back.
you can get a temp ban, and then if you do it multiple times, then they can eventually perm you. But like
Yeah,
they generally just temporary ban you because they know you're gonna come back, and then maybe you're gonna buy gold for with bonds this time because you got banned and
that is
lost the
so
gold.
smart though. Hold on, that is
I
so
don't know any
smart.
of this stuff because I don't care about these things.
I mean, you were of the opinion. I remember we were talking about in the content creator Discord that basically like you just make it right. It's more fun that way. Something like
I
that.
mean, not only that, it's like I don't trust any of these dudes at all. It's like not
Oh,
at all.
they're scummy,
Like
dude.
these they are scummy and they're a type of people I would never want to associate with.
That was my one fear when buying gold, that I would just lose my money.
So from my again investigation into this, a lot of them have actual full-on companies with like 10 or 15 employees. They pay
What the
tax
hell, dude? What
because
the
they are
hell?
literally middlemen. They don't touch the gold ever. All they are is a website, and that's how they get away with it. Because they find a buyer in game someone who wants to buy in game. They find someone who's selling in game, and their website just does PayPal transaction. That's it. That's all their website's for. They PayPal it or whatever the way it is to get to the gold seller, the gold buyer. They just do that transaction. They have not touched the game. They've never touched the gold. Therefore, they don't get in trouble because they were never in game.
Can't they get like a lawsuit for selling stuff? I remember
They're,
Jmod
they're not.
getting
They're not
sued.
selling anything. All they're doing is just being a middleman to pass money from one PayPal account to the other PayPal account. That's all it is in the law from them.
Hmm.
Because they're not physically touching the gold. See, that's why when I was asking them, the leaders of these sites and everything, I was asking, how the hell have you guys not gotten away with it, banned or sued or whatever? And they said, because we don't touch it.
Wow.
We don't touch it. It's not
That's
ours.
interesting.
All we are is just, you want to pay him? Okay, I take your money, I pass your money to him, I get a fee. That's it. That's how they make their money.
Wow.
I
Okay.
didn't know that. Then again, I don't know much about gold selling or buying. I don't
This
have,
is
yeah.
why I
don't
did
really
the
have a reason to do
deep
so.
dive. I wanted the why.
I,
I'm a why person. I always
I
need
want
to
to
know why.
add, don't do it, guys. Don't, just in case. We can't be encouraging people here. Even like
100%.
even though the bands might not seem that crazy. Same with Elite Dungeons. Bands weren't that crazy, and people are like, oh, I'm gonna do it next time. That's the problem. Like,
Yeah, my
don't do
stand on
it.
this is don't do it. But my stand on this also from the research is Jagex, step your freaking game up and set precedents.
Seriously, Jesus Christ.
I know. I don't think there's many ways you can get permanently banned unless you're botting. I think.
Well, ultimately, they don't want you to get banned because then they lose a customer. Waswere is right about that. Their idea is not to ban you, but if they keep doing slaps on the wrist and they go, oh, real world trade is a problem, well, no shit. Unless you put a stop to it and put your foot down, you're not going to stop it. So we'll just keep pretending it doesn't happen and turn a blind eye to everything. That's
It's
the
literally
that's
the
the
shock
approach.
Pikachu meme.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
So
that's actually that's a good one. Uh, is there anything specific you guys really want to talk about still? Because I'm not sure. I feel like we've gone on for like 2 or 3 hours at this point, which is really long for a podcast, which is good actually. Like,
I love long podcasts. But
yeah. Is there like anything specific? Like, I think the list we had, or I made was mostly like common. Like, actually, I have a question for all of you.
okay.
Do you think it's worth it to become a content creator from a monetary standpoint? Let's say it is your goal to become that gaming becomes your job. Do you think RuneScape is a good game for it? And I know,
Bit tough for me to answer this one.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
like, I
If you
feel like
really want it, it's your because you love RuneScape, for example. I don't know.
Hard no if you're trying to make it into a career.
Okay.
That's what I would say. I think that
it's very, very difficult. Then again, any video game is hard to make a career out of because you're either
That's
going to deal with a saturated market with a lot of other creators eyeing for your time, and you have to find a way to stand out there. On the other hand, it's easier to find ways to stand out in RuneScape, but your market is smaller. And if you want to try to be a variety, you have to work even harder. So there's no real easy way for you as a creator, no matter what game you pick.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Laser, because I agree with this, by the way, for gaming, that is.
For RuneScape, yeah, you definitely can, but you just have to be double down on smart with your money. So I've been doing it full time for over a year now with I'd say I'm small, obviously, as a channel comparative to others, but the way I went about it was just smart to make the most of it. If you're going to do it and just focus on the one game, you need to find the honeypot. Nuzz's channel is a perfect example of what I mean by the honeypot. Those videos, the money making guides, the how to guides, the new player guides, that is where your cream of the crop money is in RuneScape content. But then beyond that, you have to be smart by having a merch game, having a subscription game, getting a community around you because there's limited views, right? So there's limited views, but you have to maximize on your community by getting monetary sources from different avenues. Obviously, Eric, you're good with your subscriptions. That's awesome. But if you can turn a subscriber into a recurring paying member, then you don't have to rely on your videos as much. Because let's say the average amount per month for RuneScape as a content creator is around $1,000 to $1,500, $2,000, right? Just give that as a
It
vague
seems
idea. I'm
reasonable
sure.
if you've made it beyond the 10K subs mark. I think that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
If you also grind your ass off.
Yeah, because you'll need a backlog of videos, otherwise that won't happen. The views you'll have
You're-
views, but like you need.
This is where I'm saying monthly. You have to be consistently hitting that 1 to 2K money monthly. That's
to
something
live off
hard to
of,
do with
and that's
RuneScape. You
terrible
have to
money
have
depending on where you live. Like,
exactly. You have to make that out of your collection of videos. Like you have
Yeah.
to be constantly pumping out videos. But if you are looking to do it full time as well, and say you can pull another grand per month out of memberships or merch, because your people have to like you as a person. You're not just doing this to be a sellout or whatever. You're generally making good content and they want to help you promote your channel. That's how you succeed. You have to
Right.
get that extra little bit to make up for the lack of views that RuneScape has.
And that allows you to like also dedicate more time and maybe go full time. Because without it, you probably won't be able to go full time if you're already working a job, like Waswere is, or
Yeah.
you're
Mhm.
studying like Lucario was.
I was.
Yeah.
I was.
You actually took a gap year, correct?
Yeah, I did multiple ones.
Would you still do that going back in time? That's actually a really personal question, I think.
I would still do it.
Okay. I
I
think
need
it
to
was a good
reiterate
time
on
to
that
do
now
as
thinking
well.
about it.
Yeah, it's a good time, especially because of human malware.
Human mal. Oh yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
how I
I was
used to call it
thinking.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, good. Especially now, I think the rest of the year, from a content creator standpoint, is going to be pretty good since we have something big with new items every month.
Not to mention, like, the winter is a good time to grind.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
because I suppose. I mean, it's summer too, but I don't know. Like, it depends on what you're doing in IRL.
Summer's when you start getting your eye. Like I took a 2 month break at the start of July. Nothing other than I just wanted to spend time outside, go golfing, go up to my parents' cottage.
Golfing? That
good.
sounds like a very rich person thing to do.
No, it's not.
Anyone
not
can do
here.
golf, man.
I know, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a thing.
It's posh.
Golfing is
what
just a
you'll
rich
say.
man's sport on the whole.
It doesn't mean you
It
have
is,
to be. Like, you can
but
buy a
it's
golf club.
also yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's a rich man sport, but it's a disposable income sport. Like if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're not playing golf. But if you're like middle class and
Yeah.
you're comfortable with your income, then yes, you can play golf and you don't need to be some mega rich person to
Yeah.
That's
play
what I
it.
was going to say about RuneScape. I would have to retract that and say, yes, you can do this full time, but you're not living like a rock star.
I-
You are sacrificing.
I want to add the reason it's RuneScape. The reason you can get away with RuneScape full time easier than other games, I believe, is because on Twitch the RuneScape community is really generous. I've heard that from other streamers. I'm not saying this because I've experienced it, but I have. And the CPM RPM for RuneScape is pretty good compared to the gaming average. I think it's like 50% higher um, than let's say I know it is because I've done different games on my second channel. Like Age of Mythology has it's like 1/3 or sometimes even
I-
1/5 or even lower. Subnautica is like 30% less.
Let me
I feel
just
it's in
see
the
how
same
much
category as
lower
Minecraft.
old.
Sorry, Laser, and
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like it's in the same category as Minecraft in the YouTube algorithm. It thinks it's a kids game, so it gives you better ads.
wait, no, it's the other way around nowadays. No, it's the other way. I know because the older your audience is, and the more it's from either like America or Europe, the better it will be, and Norway and stuff. Richer countries with like first world countries will get you way more than let's say South Africa or maybe I would say even Asia. I think the CPM is low from Asia. Just it is the way it is because less people would
No.
be buying stuff. Okay, maybe not Asia. Actually,
Yeah.
depends.
I said Minecraft is in like that demographic of advertisers who would want to see their product on Minecraft because it
Oh,
doesn't have
okay.
blood gut score. You know what I mean? That's why it's
Yes,
in that
yeah,
category.
yeah. And RuneScape
So-
players
Yeah.
don't cuss as much either. I think. I mean, you do on stream, but like
I
it's
do, but you know.
it's fairly friendly. Like, let's be honest. Like, it's not like you're
Yeah.
not Nightmare
okay.
RH, right? Because he would get demonetized pretty much.
No, the reason why RuneScape is high RPM is
MMO.
twofold. One, it's an MMO, so it's a monthly subscription. So they know people that are watching the videos generally have some form of disposable income, and or are open to subscription type games. Second of all is microtransactions. There are a lot of microtransactions in RuneScape 3, so people
Mhm.
are willing to advertise mobile games with microtransactions a lot more on RuneScape. Like if you watch a lot of RuneScape
Me.
content on my
Mhm.
phone, I
Sponsors
get a
Raid Challenge. Okay, sorry.
Mhm.
I had to interrupt you. Raid
Yeah.
Channel Legends. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not taking sponsors from them anymore. I think I said no this month because I
You've
just
made your
can't.
money.
No, it's like
I made my money too. I'm dipping.
dude, I play the game. It's fine, but I can't. This video's been sponsored, but I can't say that, dude. It hurts my soul.
Just
I
go the
can't.
internet historian route and make some fantastic video out of it. His ad spots are wonderful.
I mean, that's like an animator, right, as well, like a little bit. He uses those.
Oh, I know, but
Fun fact.
it's
Yeah, if you can do them well, yes. But I've done a couple of fun ads for raids, like when I die at raids and it turns into Raid Shadow Legends ad. But I I've people that watch me know the game. I don't need to shove it down their throat even more. I didn't mind at first because it's actually like not a bad mobile game if you look at mobile games. That's usually why I take if a sponsor isn't a scam and it's a game I can play for an hour on my phone and think it's alright for a mobile game, I'll take it. If it isn't scammy or whatever, I look at reviews, I look at Trustpilot, I look at feedback pay, I look at the negatives, and then saying Raid Shadow Legends is pay to win isn't an argument. That because every mobile game basically is. I don't know.
No. Have you heard of Apple Arcade?
No, I have not.
Okay, then they're a subscription service that gets you a lot of games like Game Pass, but the catch is no
Oh,
microtransactions.
okay. I'm looking right now on Google, by the way.
do you include timestamps to skip ads so that you have it show up as chapters? Because I appreciate
Depends.
everybody that does that.
So some don't allow you to do that.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. to
I
me,
mean,
but
they don't they can't actually forbid you, but you don't want to lose the sponsor if you want to have them again. So you
Yeah.
You
be
also
nice.
kind of want to like actually get it to
Work.
you know,
Yeah.
work.
Because
Otherwise, like
it feels like you're scamming them otherwise. I hate that feeling. Like when a video does poorly, you sponsored. Or let's say you did. Let's say you look at. Let's say you did your Raid Shadow Legends stream, which did
okay.
very well. That's like 170 people watching, right?
At first, and then dwindle down to like 50.
Okay, yeah. But let's say there was 10 people watching that, and you got paid for. Dude, I would crumble. My soul would just crumble.
Um.
I would still be, I
mm,
made money. Nice.
mm,
My first sponsored video from an
I don't
ad for
know.
extra
I don't
was
know,
an
dude. Because like I
targeted.
think in that case, I'll be like, yes, yes, yes.
I appreciate that, dude. I generally do. But
Because I have no love for that.
the mobile games.
Yeah, I have no love for mobile games.
All
Even though
right.
I am interested in stuff like the Apple Arcade games, where respected developers like Platinum Games have put out games on Apple Arcade. Way Forward has put out games on Apple Arcade,
Huh.
etc. Like, and they have no microtransactions.
You don't see that often on mobile games at all.
Right, right, and is completely bankrolled by Apple. Like they're iOS exclusive slash Mac. Actually, no, not Mac because they can be ported on PC, but you can play Apple Arcade games on Mac. Either
Yeah,
way,
because
the
it's
point is,
iOS as well, right? Mac
yeah,
OS. Yeah.
yeah. But either way, the point is that not every mobile game has microtransactions as seen by stuff like Apple Arcade.
Yeah, my bad. I made a general assumption. Yeah, I can
Right,
definitely see this because okay, the ones that sponsor people do, that's for sure, because otherwise they
right,
would make their money
100%.
back. Dragon
Genshin
City.
Impact.
Hey, that's a Steam game, isn't it? Is it a
No,
mo?
that's not even on Steam.
Is that a mobile game? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's a mobile game.
Huh. Uh, let What Laser? What game did you get sponsored by then? You just must be a mobile game. Fishing.
Yeah, fishing. Hold on, trying to remember. Sorry, my mind
Wait,
went blank.
you're getting sponsored by
3
a
in the morning.
fishing sponsor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what? Fishing
So
sport fish.
I'm joking.
I got sponsored for the video, and I had it planned, and I was like, "Sweet, I'll do this video with Fraxu. We're gonna do 10 essential quests to obviously help people." Obviously, I knew that video should do well in the algorithm because obviously it's targeting new players. It was like my same formula that I use every freaking time.
Oh, I see.
The game's called Fishing Clash, and
Oh, I got that offer.
Oh,
so-
dude. Oh man, I've done a hunter version of this.
yeah, I did Fishing Clash, got 751 views, and I felt so bad because I'm just like, I did everything right. Video was target, tags perfect, everything. I just felt so defeated at that point. This was actually when I started to have those thoughts about leaving, when this didn't work, and I was just like, what am I doing?
This is a good sponsored video, by the way. I'm just looking like you did it. Looks fine. Like you.
I actually, I
Wow.
really downloaded it. I really played it. I really had a good time, with that game and everything. And just the YouTube algorithm, like that was really deflating. Like this was in the old mindset. Now I don't care if a video bombs. I do not care. But this was in the old mindset where it's like, yes, I've worked hard on this video. Please work. Please work. Nothing.
But
Dead
was it a
and
CPM deal or was it a flat amount of money, like a fee? I hope it was
Flat
the
amount.
second. Okay, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Good, because
I think I got a similar offer from them.
yeah.
around
Was
the
it through
same time.
Matchmade?
Yeah.
What the? Why does everyone use Matchmade as well? Nice, just like Nuzz. Great guys.
What the heck is Matchmade?
You should get your like literally get your ass on that right now.
What?
It's
I don't even know what this is.
basically what it is you sign in. They can see your analytics, which I mean it's a little bit sus, but at the end of the day, they need it because they need to know your demographic to base your pay. And what they do is they send out emails and stuff.
Okay.
And if they get someone that people actually companies come to Matchmade as well, and they say, okay, I want like a 30% US viewership. I want someone who has 10,000 average views or 100,000, and they put a set amount of money, and Matchmade then connects you with them. Sometimes you get 3 sponsors a month. Sometimes you get 1 in like 2 months. Sometimes you get none. It all depends on so many things, and they obviously take a huge cut. I think they take a large sum of money, but you don't necessarily care because they're saving you time. That being said, I'm in a content creator Discord with a bunch of like people that take YouTube very seriously. I can link you it later, all of you.
Okay.
Like that's a really good Discord to be in. And some of them actually just when they get an offer, they reach out to the company themselves and get more, which is, because they know the company's looking for their viewership. But yeah,
the middleman.
Yeah, that's I thought about doing it, but at the same time, I don't really want to be sending emails anymore. I tried it like in the past when I was small. I like sent every gaming accessory company an email, but nah.
Oh man, I don't know
never
what I
applied.
signed up for, but I'm getting text now. I'm getting spam
Oh,
text,
no.
and I've got to change the phone number or something.
got-
Because, like, you sign up for these things like Matchmade or whatever, and
don't spam
maybe
you.
one of them was fake or whatever, and not Matchmade, but other ones that are like
Yeah.
Matchmade, maybe they were fake,
Blueberry
and
or
then
whatever.
you just get stuck into it. Blue Book.
I think
That's
one of
another?
the ones that allow you to join with very little subscribers are the ones you don't want to be using.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, that's
Wow,
that's messed up.
elitist.
No, seriously though. Like,
I'm
I'll be honest.
joking.
I want to say here. I thought I was entitled to sponsors before 1K subs, and I thought I was entitled before 5K subs. I think you should really not. You won't have a chance with sponsors unless you're making something really interesting for the company until like 10K at least.
Like 10,
Mhm.
yeah, 10K is like the bare minimum. Like, I'm
Yeah, so
sorry, but like if you're
5K
sponsoring
views.
like less than 10K like subscribers,
Yeah.
just like every same company's like, oh, why do I need to go here? Like, what's in it for me? It's like there's nothing.
Yeah, they can't make money off of you because your audience is probably so small before that they don't care what you say, and the chances are you've only got like 500 subs because one of your videos did well, because there's just they need ROI, return on investment.
Yeah, return on investment.
Yeah, and until you have, unless, like I said, unless it's like a small game where 5k subs is like the 25k subs of RuneScape, then they might, because you're a king of your niche. Let's say isn't there like mobile game YouTubers that have like 20k subs? They're pretty big for the mobile game, but yeah, they get mobile game sponsors because they have a target, like an audience, a demographic that the company wants to, take advantage of, basically, to
Right.
make. But yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know Matchmade. How the hell did you get a
No,
deal
I
with
don't.
Rich
I look.
Legends?
The only thing I do is like
Oh, the
the only
email,
thing
never
I'm
mind.
more aware of will be stuff like Patreon, Twitch subs, some sponsors that
Mm-hmm.
will reach out to you directly,
Yeah,
and
the email you. Yeah.
yeah, they'll email you, business email, and that's basically it. Don't
Oh,
really
there's a
go out.
lot more.
I'm actually aware of like MCMs, which I'm avoiding like to play. Those seem
Dude,
like an
don't. They're
absolute
poison.
scam.
They're
They're a
poison.
absolute scam.
They're
Don't ever
probably,
go to one.
yeah. Dude, they even like they would offer. Let's say you make 2,000 a month on YouTube, right? Or
Right.
Twitch or whatever. They'll be like, yeah, dude. If you join MCN, I'll give you 4,000 as like a little bonus, and then we take 40% of your profit. They'll make it back in time. They know that, and then you're stuck in for 3 years. Machinima used to do this. Machinima is
Yeah.
a dark MCM. You can look up stuff
Oh
about it.
yeah.
They're
Oh
dirty,
yeah.
man. Machinima. Everyone had the M.
Yeah.
Disgusting, dude. I was offered to.
Crazy.
I remember wanting to join that, or what was the other one? Like the big one with all the Call of Duty ones.
Oh no, I don't
Some
watch
kind of
Call of
iron
Duty.
thing. Iron.
Ironside? No, Ironside is like some game
That's
computer
no, like
thing.
the other one. Like, what was it? I remember you needing 5,000 views per month minimum. What biggest MCNs YouTube? Literally just broadband. That was another one. What was it? Like, I'm gonna find it, dude. I'm gonna find it. I need to know. I know a YouTuber that has it. Hold on. Some Command and Conquer, dude. Hold on. Man, it's so weird. I'm gonna find it, dude.
Well, the thing that the company that Ryan signed with recently,
Yeah,
um,
I told,
I
dude.
got offered from them as well,
I hope you didn't
and
take.
I didn't take it because I wasn't in a position where like what they could offer me would benefit me. Like I think Ryan's in a position where it makes sense for him to do it because he can just focus fully on streaming, and then basically they manage his YouTube channel with his content from stream. So he's not
Mm-hmm.
really doing much on there, at least for the stream highlight type content. So he can pump out more videos and it doesn't feel like he has to. So I think for him it's like a net positive
I,
situation for that.
I I talked to him about it. I don't see how they could improve how many uploads he has without editing his videos or doing something for him. That's what I said to him. But apparently they can help him. But I'll be honest. Even if you have 200k subs, an MCM will always literally make money off of you. They need you. You don't need them. I don't think you
Right.
ever need MCM unless it's for legal support. And the only reason you'd want that, but at that point you'd hire a lawyer. You could do that for like 1,000 a year, I
All
think.
right, I'm
Oh wait,
gonna
no, hold
hire
up.
I'm gonna
Hold
hire
up.
my family then.
As an accountant, my bad, not a lawyer.
Yeah.
Accountant, yeah,
Unless
a
they give
thousand per
you
year.
deals you would not get on your own. So it's kind of like in Hollywood how you have a manager or whatever,
Yeah,
and or an agent, and they get you deals that you physically would not be able to do because in
yeah, that
old school
helps.
with their MCN that they're in, right, all those
Mhm.
creators, they've
Method.
created their own basically. And that's why they're all getting sponsorships now, regardless if they had, 30k subs up to Torvesta, 500k subs. Like they've all got sponsorships because their agent is selling them as a package.
That's like
Hey,
Matchmade. That's
you
Matchmade,
might not
basically what
get
they have.
you might not get all those views on that one small channel, but we're budgeting in this big channel for a package price to do all of them together, and that's how theirs work.
Yeah, that's a really. I remember I was talking about like that something like that for RuneScape 3, but if they take something from your revenue, I don't think it's worth it. Like it doesn't matter if it's 2% of your monthly revenue, or what, because if it's always a percentage cut, it's like selling your business. You don't want them to
But
have
if
a high
they got
stake.
you 8%, put it that way, if they gave you 8% more than you were going to get, and you didn't have to lift a finger or do anything, it's worth giving 2% at that point. But in
Yeah,
your
but then you would
contract
need a
clause,
guarantee.
you
Yeah.
have You just put in a guarantee that, hey, if this stops, you don't get 2%. How
Mhm.
the best way to do that for a MCN, if anyone listening is looking into this, because I've already done all my research on it, put them on commission based only. The harder they work for you, the more they make. The more
That
you
is the
make.
only way. Agreed. That is the only way. A commission base is fine. Like if they take 10%, let's say you get 1,000, you don't get 1,000 unless you get really big views for like a sponsor. They take, let's say it's 900 for you. That's fine. If they do all the work for you, 10%, I think that's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Same thing is like we'll give you access to our editor. Our network has its own editors. You just send the footage, they make the videos. That's another way to look at it because you can increase your revenue tenfold by
Yeah.
having extra videos out.
Yeah. I don't think that the Ryan has that, by the way. I doubt it. I don't think so. But if that's the case, that's awesome. Then it definitely is worth because he actually will be getting more people on his Twitch channel and all that kind of stuff. That's what he. I was just scared that he was going to make a stupid decision because MCNs, as far as I know, are scummy, like always.
Most of the time they are. Yeah, most of the time they
Yeah.
are.
That TGN, it was TGN, by the way, the other one.
Yeah, I saw them years ago. They offered
Mm-hmm.
me it. I was like, no.
Like the little intro and stuff, like the little cool animation. Oh, dude, that was
What a scam. They lure you in and then it's like
filthy.
you're yep.
It's honestly, it's disgusting. I'm being honest. I think it's filthy if you like because they lure you with some kind of like promise, and then you're
Mm.
you're contracted in legally. You can't do anything. Usually, sometimes you aren't locked in, but usually you are because otherwise, they know you'll try and leave within a month. Yeah, it's
With the music industry, right? To bring something up there, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of the band Slipknot. Same thing with them. A record label is an MCN. A lot of people don't
Right.
oh
make that
wow,
connection. A record label is an MCN. So Slipknot, one of the biggest metal bands in all of the world, has not made a single cent from any record they've sold because their original deal when they were starting up, that contract said you don't get any money from the records. So all the money that they've
wow,
made
scammed.
is touring and merch. Think of that. Slipknot.
Right. It's
No money
Incredible.
record. Like,
incredibly crazy.
Well,
same
I
thing
can't. I
Metallica.
didn't know that. That's actually
Well,
wow. I mean, still a lot of
music
money.
industry
Merch.
as a whole is like infamous for its exploitation.
I've heard that.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Then
But that,
the song Hotel California, a lot of people think it's about drugs. It's actually about the music industry. Once you enter,
wow.
you can't leave. Yeah. There you
That,
go. Just like RuneScape.
Huh.
Once you enter, you can't leave. You always
that is
come back.
actually,
So even
Just
though I'm
like this
taking a break,
podcast,
I'll be
if you're
back.
still listening at this point.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
literally. But
What is it?
guys,
3 hours?
At
yeah,
Yep,
least.
we need
3
to
hours.
we need to chill and give our voice bands or whatever you call it a break because and we need to the viewers need to like stand up because you've been listening to this for too long probably.
Well, put your comment. Put in the comment how much XP you gained watching this podcast.
Okay.
And get
Most-
up and
That's
move
all I
because
want
Deal
your
with
to
that.
say.
legs are probably dead. Make sure you drink plenty of water.
How
Yeah.
much money have you made from Telos listening to this podcast? I hope you made. I hope you made 500 mil.
They probably lost
Otherwise,
money, dying,
Oh my god.
death
I need to
costs.
learn
Oh,
PVM though.
hmm.
Didn't even touch on death
Oh,
cost, but
Yeah,
no,
no,
because it's about the YouTube
Yeah.
stuff, right? The content
that's-
creation.
yeah, true. Let's wrap it up, guys. Hey, thank you guys so much for joining into the podcast. I really do appreciate you guys taking, especially Laser Shark, for getting up.
Bro, it's
You know,
316. Austin 316. There's a wrestling. Hey, how's it going? Nuzz. I put it in there for you. Right at the
Oh.
end.
Oh, the pun. And Lucario also woke up early, dude.
I woke up early just for you. I hope it's good.
Thank you. I guys, thank you. So, yeah. Catch you guys. Peace.
Dude.
I don't
Bye-bye.
know. I'm
Bye.
Bye.
a friend. Bye.
Cheerio.